What's up? Can you hear me, Jeff?
I can hear you.
Okay, excellent. Hey, everybody.
Greetings to all the chatters out there.
What's going on? Wow. Sorry, I was trying to do something. I apologize in advance. I know you guys can't see him. Carl, I apologize to, because when I quickly put up the thumbnail, the one that I intended to, of course, start with was the one that this one. So there you go. My apologies, Carl. I forgot. I just clicked the wrong one because I did it so quickly. There you go. Now your happy face is there. See, and look, what a perfect look on your face. You're wondering, hey man, you forgot me. So there you go. What's up, everybody? Everybody's getting all excited. Look at that. Holy shit, 30 comments already. I'm gonna have to be doing some skipping of the comments again. So everybody, I'm gonna get right into it. Just want to start off. You're probably wondering, why is Jeff here? Jeff was not one of the planned guests, neither on the thumbnail nor in the description that I mentioned that other people may be showing up. I decided to have Jeff on and explain to us why he's here, for those of you who have not, who were not on Nikki B's show on Friday. So yeah, Jeff, go ahead and take it away, please.
Yeah, so just to do a quick announcement for folks for next week, and a recap of what's happened in the past week. Daryl R., one of our community members, big in the comic art family, is a North Las Vegas police officer. One of his guys was shot and killed in the line of duty on Tuesday here in North Las Vegas. 46-year-old officer Jason Roscoe. So Tom McDonald kind of got the word early, noticed a posting on Facebook about it, and sort of spearheaded an effort to get some art donated over the next few days. And then we're going to go on to Nick's show on Friday and auction it off with all the proceeds going to the officer's family. There'll be more info on Friday. So if folks want to do direct donations, we'll have info on how that can be done. And we'll have that posted and the info available on a slide on Nick's show. For those who aren't familiar with Nick's show, which everyone probably should be by now, but it'll be 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Eastern time over on the EXP. Between now and then, folks that are interested in donating art can reach out to me, Jeff Wedding. You can find me on CAF easy enough and just message me there. Or Tom said you can email him, and his email is tom@greenfleetconsulting.com, which is spelled just like it sounds, greenfleetconsulting.com. Or if you just connect with me, I can put everyone in touch with Tom also. We're going to figure out a mechanism. So if people want to do cash donations instead of art, we'll have that available. And Jeff, if folks want to donate, yep.
Sorry, I just wanted to say it's not GoFundMe, any one of those type of things.
It's set up through the local Injured Officers Foundation here in Las Vegas, and so there's a bank account.
Oh, they set it up.
Yeah, and so they set it up, and that's how we're gonna transfer stuff, and we'll have those details on Friday. And Tom wanted me to mention that if folks have a larger piece of art, value-wise, that they've been thinking about letting go, that they wanted to include in the auction, but just have a percentage go to the fund, we're willing to talk through that also. So just, again, reach out to me or to Tom, and we can talk about details. So I think that's it. Otherwise, today is going to be a fun day in the chat, I'm sure. And so I'll get off of this topic and let you bring in all your other guests, because I'm looking forward to the chat while I make nachos.
Make nachos and hang out a bit and try to listen while you make those nachos.
That's right.
All right. All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for coming on and doing this and spreading the word out, man, for sure.
All righty. Well, thanks for letting me jump on, and I'll jump out now. And everyone have a good rest of your weekend and a good upcoming week.
Thanks, man. You too, Jeff. Be good, bud.
Yep. Have a good
All
one.
right. All right. You too. Bye-bye. All right. Let me see here, everybody. Good to see you all, of course. I can't say hi to all of you verbally, but I clicked every single message that I saw. Yes, exactly. And thank you, Kavi. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the popping in the links, man. Appreciate that very much. Doing nachos, Tom. Nice. So yeah, everybody, let me bring in everybody here. Look at that. Look who's here. Nacho man. I want to be a nacho man. What's up, Marcus? Yes. So let me bring in everybody one at a time. Of course, it's always so much fun to bring them in once at a time. What's up? What's up? What's happening?
Hello.
How's it going, Jason?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. You doing well?
Yeah, a little chilly out here, but that's all right. It's Michigan.
Me too. Us too. Jason is a Lions fan, as you guys can see, repping the cap. Awesome. And the pullover, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yep, all the way.
All right. Excellent. And with him, we bring in the second guy who was on our thumbnail. The guy who I appeared to forget. It was just a quick faux pas on my part. I'm so sorry.
No, it wasn't, Ruben. It was a deliberate, and I'm leaving.
Hey, Carl.
What's up, Jason?
And then we got Mr. Kavi H. Mr. Third Place, Kavi H. What's up?
He's on the podium, ladies and gentlemen.
How's it going, man?
It's still a medal. Yeah, that's right.
I'm the top 3 OA collecting kind of guy, so you know,
Nice.
I don't go for those. I don't go for those winner pieces, but I'll take a top 3.
Next in the house, it's a full house tonight, everybody. I think it's a record for my channel, actually. Hi, Jer Stacker. What's happening?
Hey, how's it going? Riding the bench.
You're right. You're the backup, are you? All right. Very good to see you. And last but certainly not least, let's bring in Lee Parmenter. What's up, Lee?
Hey, Lee.
Hi, all. How you guys doing?
Good.
Representing my team too. Here you go.
Oh, well, you can at least lay claim to Saquon Barkley playing today.
Yeah.
So at least for several years, anyways.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been cheering him on all year. He really got screwed over by the Giants, and then they lost their quarterback anyways. What a bunch of dopes.
Yeah. It's the Giants, though.
And the number 1 draft pick too. Just a bad year for the Giants.
This is just a bad year for anybody who's a fan of New York sports and the Super Bowl. Like, my favorite AFC team, the Bills, and then the Giants, arch enemy, and the Eagles. It's not a fun Super Bowl to watch for me.
Stanley, I have not forgotten my Lions. I have cheered on both teams for 32 and 35 years, respectively. So, yeah, there you have it. Is that a new mic? Says Matt. Matt, we miss you. You should have popped in too. Is that a new mic? Who are you talking to? Maybe Carl? It's the only mic.
I think your mic is visible, Ruben. It normally
is. It usually isn't. Yeah.
You usually have it like off screen.
That's true, yeah, because I don't like having it on the screen. But I find like when it's off camera, I find it like, you got that a little bit slightly echoey because it's kind of farther. But yeah, whatever. That's okay.
So I got it right in my face, so whatever.
It worked pretty good there because it was blocking that bright window. So yeah, leave it there.
Mine's like on the desk or whatever, so I just bring it up and down.
Slightly different angle for Ruben as well, and he filled a spot in above his head there in terms of the artwork. So there's new painting up there.
Oh yeah, good point.
What? No, there's still that empty space with the two little tacks on the wall. I don't see anything new back there.
Oh, it's back there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. The space is still there. I thought you were referring to the brightness in that other square.
No, I think it's just a different angle.
Usually we see him like taking up more of the space on the camera. There aren't usually like 6 people on, so.
Yeah,
That's
it.
true.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're actually here in the daytime too. That's the big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
This feels like a book club without a book to discuss.
Nice. So, hey, what's up, CJ? Good to see you. Let's look at that. Stingray. By the way, everybody, Stingray is going to be my guest next week. And that should be some fun. It's kind of, I guess I was going to do all the promo. And you know what? Let me quickly, might as well get that out of the way. Shout out to the newest subs, Mr. Orange. That's how I like to say it. Mr. Orange 00. And Anonymous, don't know who you were. Your privacy settings did not let me see your name. But thank you. And I hope you guys make it to a live show at some point. It's more fun that way. But thank you for subscribing. And yeah, wow, this is probably the first time that it happens this way. Carl, I got a little promo for a really cool vid that Carl did, and I'm doing it with Carl in the studio with me live. Wow.
Thank you in person, Ruben. Thank you.
Right. Verbally, right? I can actually hear you thanking me. So yeah, let me drop this one into the chat here. And so this is an OAX hall recap show that Carl did, where he shows the art that he picked up, and talks about the show and how it went for him and all that, which is all well and good because we'll be talking about that anyways.
You sure it's the right film, Carl? You didn't give him the other film?
No, it's the right one. That's the right one. I saved the other one.
Okay.
No, that's not the XXX one. No, don't worry.
That's the other Carl.
It's a different Carl.
It's all good.
This is PG-13, Carl. Yeah.
Keep it family friendly, folks.
And by the way, everybody, that's a pretty long. I think Carl, your longest vid ever. I think, right? Probably.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, almost an hour. Like
almost an hour. Yeah.
50 to 55 minutes, something like that.
I believe so. Yeah.
But well worth a watch if you want. If you haven't been to OAX and you want to get one person's perspective of what it was like, and you get to see the art that he picked up. A lot of fun.
Some pictures of these gentlemen, all except for Jason, because he doesn't like smiling in photos. So
I'm definitely not photogenic.
Yeah, you got the angry Jason in that one. I saw.
Yeah, I was like, all right, man, I get it. I'll take a hint. No more pictures with you. Fine.
My mom, my mom, my wife, people at work, no one wants me to be in their photos with them. Yeah.
I was like, this dude
what's funny
is
is
to be
that
here.
even in the morning, Jason smiled more. I ate breakfast with him like 2 mornings, and he had a brighter face on then than he did in that picture. I was like,
well, food makes me happy. So
pull the camera out. He's like mean mugging.
It was, Jeff. It was. And I also just popped in Mike Dellery's from NSN Art link and to his channel, because he put out a series of 6 videos this week, and you guys should check those out. It's actually really a lot of fun. This was each video was on each video was for a different category of the CAF best of, the annual best of that they do. And he did a roughly 6-minute video for each category where he picks his 5 favorite picks. Those of you who know Mike and know what he collects, and if you saw his show and tell that he did with me, you know that he's more on the fringes of mainstream, outside the fringes of mainstream, in terms of his interests and his collecting. But he actually ends up picking quite a lot of pretty mainstream stuff for his picks. And a lot of them are really, really, really cool. So like I said, with that link, you get to see all of his 6 videos. The first 6 videos you see at that page, those are the videos for that. So check that out. And look at that. I'm making him happy already. Yay. So yeah, check that out. That's very cool. And let me see. Do I have anybody else who put out a video? I don't think so, but Nikki B, this Friday, I don't have a link, although that's where I usually put the link. But Kavi, thank you for putting in earlier that EXP link. I'm just going to show it here anyways.
Sure.
It's easy to remember. It's YouTube /the EXP. And yeah, I'll just quickly for the maybe one of you who might see this who doesn't know who I'm talking about. It's Nick right here. The Original Art Experience every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, where you can claim art for your collection. That means buy. For those of you who don't know what claim means, and also it's a combination art sales and chat show. So please check that out. And here's the beautiful picture of Nick again. Look at that. And what else is there? Oh yeah. Real quick, I'll do this at the end of today's show. God damn, I should close my email because I hate these annoying notifications. I'll do it at the end of the show again, but just for those of you who may not be here at the end, I mentioned earlier that next week, next week, I've got, 2 weeks from now, I've got 2 shows, but next week, here, check it out. I've got Comic Art Show and Tell number 68 with Newell T, aka Stingray. That's going to be at the usual time. We're back at Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And that should be a lot of fun. A lot of you guys met Newell for the first time at OAX, correct?
Yeah,
I'm real curious if it's going to be over under 50% on Stingray pieces that you pick. That'll be interesting.
That's the over under. I was kind of thinking that. Yeah.
50%. That feels pretty.
I got to be honest, Kavi. When I started kind of, I've begun my preliminary search through the collection, and as I was kind of making mental notes, okay, pick, right? I was like, in the end, I was like, yeah, it looks like I'm probably going to be about 50-50. So that's a pretty awesome guess on your part. I got to say, yeah.
It's accurate representation. There's a lot of sweet Stingray pieces, and a lot of us. I never knew who the character was before I met Newell. So
you see what I mean, Newell? You see, Newell was like emailing me yesterday night because he read the description of, and you should, to see what I'm talking about, you should go and read the description of that show. A lot of sarcasm in it, in reference to nobody knowing who the hell Stingray is, and making a reference to, imagining that the reason he calls himself that is because we're probably going to find out he's got a huge collection of Corvette Stingrays, And so he's like, oh, I didn't realize there's going to be a lot of ball busting or whatever. Shit, you haven't watched my show enough. If you don't realize there's going to be a lot of ball busting, that's all we ever do here. But yeah,
he's quick-witted though, so I'm sure he'll if there's some ball busting, it'll be busted right back. So
that's good.
I mentioned that to him too, that I had never heard of that character before. I said, Newell, Stingray, no idea who the character was until you.
But yeah, it's been wow. I met him at Baltimore in the fall, and yeah, it's a good story, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
hey Dave,
tune in.
Brown chicken, brown cow, huh? Not sure what you mean, but the PG-13. Carl gets 1 F-bomb per video. Oh, this on this channel, it's free. It's a free for all. You can do whatever you want.
I can go to town.
Yeah, you go to town.
I can Deadpool and Wolverine this shit.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's no holds barred. I mean, I figure, with YouTube's weird new rules that they seem to be rolling out constantly, and you see all these people on YouTube not wanting to say these really common English words like die, kill, suicide, murder.
Yeah.
Like they're using these fake made up words like I'm going to unalive you or whatever. Like what?
I mean, that's for people who really care about the algorithm, and that's not.
But that's the thing. It's just I'm just trying to make the point that how crazy is it that, I mean, these are common words used in everyday conversation, right? And like if I just say to you guys, oh yeah, and so we're talking about comics, and we have this argument sometimes where these Superman fans tell me, well, Superman's not supposed to kill, but he killed one time. Apparently, like if I was monetized or something, just by saying that sentence, I'd be getting crushed right now, and they wouldn't put my video in front of anybody, or they probably wouldn't monetize me just for saying that sentence. We're discussing a character killing another or whatever. Like just because I use the word kill, that's crazy.
No, you can. I think that's a word that you can use as long as you mark your video for adults and not children in the settings. But there are certain words that you just literally can't use, and if they're tech flags you, you're in trouble. But it really doesn't affect non-monetized channels that drastically.
What's up, Dan? My channel, every episode I've ever done, I had them marked for not for children.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
even my PG-13 content, I mark not for kids because I don't want to.
There you go.
I just want to be able to say whatever I want, and I don't care.
Still more videos to edit. You got more to go. Wow, it takes a while to edit out all of the ums and ahs. That's why I do it live. That's why I do it live. Everything live, Mike, because I don't care. I do all the umming and ahhing, and oh well, too bad.
I do a lot of mine like off the cuff when I record, and if I edit out all of those verbal kind of like blah, it would take forever to edit. I don't care.
Look at that. Tom's at work. Tom's at one of his stores. Damn, at work now. Stores are crazy busy telling the managers to leave me alone so he can watch. Nice. He's got his priorities straight. That's good to see, you know. Hey, Kenneth, what's up, buddy? Auction starting at 11 cents, right? Thank you for reminding everybody on Nikki B's channel, not here. Yeah, exactly. He'd still be editing. Exactly, Carl. Yeah. Need more Spencer on the XP. No, we don't, do we? I picked up a beauty on by the way. Holy shit. Nobody's invoiced me for it yet, but I picked up a sweet piece on Nikki B's show on Friday. Anyways, maybe I'll show it whenever I receive it. Hey, Antoine, what's up, Antoine? Good to see you.
Guy's piece, right? I think.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Like to me, that was like I guess I shouldn't say it, but like sorry, Spencer. To me, I felt like half price. It's like what? It's half price. But,
it seemed like a decent price. With all the snowstorms out there, I've been dealing with some shipping problems lately, unfortunately. But yeah.
Oh, so that's that's a good topic. I think we can actually get into. I wanted to ask you guys actually about that, about shipping, because I had sent out. I decided I had 2 packages to send out from before the new year. And I waited until January 7th, and then I sent them both out, and both are still. They left from here. They got tracked 1 day later, already in New York, and they stopped getting tracked. Yep. I have now had to open up investigations with the post office, and I haven't heard back from them, and it's been 11 days. So that's getting me a little bit concerned. What keeps me not from getting too panicky is the fact that both of them are not getting tracked, right? So to me, that tells me there was a slowdown, a problem of some kind at the New York distribution center, and that means it's not just my 2 packages, but a whole bunch of them. It's probably some issue going on. They're totally backed up. I'm hoping, and
I have something stuck in New York that's literally just going from New York to New Jersey. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, if that gives you any idea.
I've got something that's stuck
how
in Texas.
How long has it been for you though, Kavi?
7 days. 6
or
7 days.
Yeah.
Should have just drove it there.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I should have just drove to Long Island or wherever, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but that's geez, like I said, for me it's like 32 or 33 days, so that's a lot more worrisome,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and previous to that, I had sent out packages early November, and they also were stuck in somewhere in Kentucky, Louisville, I believe it was, and stuck there for like 40 whatever days until I opened up an investigation, and 4 days after that, they delivered it,
I got a FedEx from Canada. Took 2 days. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I got a FedEx stuck in Pennsylvania for the last 7 days, 6 or 7 days, for whatever reason.
So what we're saying
I've
is
given
it's
up.
Isolated incidents, and it's not connected.
Yeah.
And there's not a big delay across the board.
Other than I have completely given up on USPS. Unless it's required.
Really?
Just yeah, and it's
so slow.
I do think it's systemic, and I mean we have a nickname for our mail carrier right now. My wife and I were out walking one day, and the van goes by, and a big like air of pot smoke comes out, and I was like, "Oh, it's Bob." You know why stuff isn't getting there, you know.
In his mind, it's getting there really fast.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna slow down, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Matt, the Canadian preemptive invasion of New York must have begun. That's right. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. And now on week 6 of a piece I won from CC that okay, but at least it hasn't shipped yet. That's more of a pain in the ass, but at least they have it. It's not like it's lost or out in the wild somewhere. Tom. It's a lot worse when it's been out there for like a month or more, and then you don't know where the hell is it. They don't know where it is, whatever. But I don't know what
I would be
happening.
I'd be curious to find out from Anthony, considering how much he ships. I mean, I think he probably ships more than anyone. What percentage of his stuff gets stuck? Because I think he uses exclusively USPS.
Right.
Just out of curiosity.
That's a good point. No, that's right. Very good point. I mean, I don't know exactly, because it's a lot of volume there. But when you do that much volume, you don't really worry about it as much, because you in your head you probably tell yourself, there's a certain amount or like a tiny little percentage that you always expect to maybe go missing, that you're gonna have to go looking for afterward. Holy crap! Whose dog is that? I'm gonna guess that is.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
And she's outside.
Damn.
That's a good mic.
Wow.
And a lot of dog.
You know what, Antoine? The greatest danger: getting lost, wet, or damaged. I mean, it's all of the above, really, right? Because you don't know how bad the water damage is going to be. But at least if it's wet or damaged, the piece will survive. So I guess that's still better than getting lost, because if it's lost forever. And if they declare it, if let's say you have insurance, or even if you don't, well, you're screwed. If you have insurance, they pay you out, and then they declare it lost forever. And then if that package ever turns up again, from what I understand, this was years ago, so I don't know if it may have changed by now. From what they used to do is, if they end up finding it, then the package goes to some place with all these other packages that they ultimately end up finding after paying out the insurance on. And they either try to do like this little auction where they, some local type auction where they try to get rid of packages sight unseen, or barring that, they just end up destroying it all in a pit of fire or something. I don't know, garbage. I don't know. So that's the problem. If they actually get lost, they could end up getting destroyed, and then you never see them again, and you never know what happens to them in the end either. So that's the thing. Hey, what's up, Rodney in the house? What's going on? Good to see you.
Hey.
What's up, Rickster? And Matt, you're talking a lot today. A Miyazaki BCE. What's that?
Say that 5 times fast. I don't know.
A Miyazaki BCE I sold to a client in Germany went missing for almost a year until ultimately considered lost. Well, the USPS and Canada Post, I can tell you, don't wait a year. Pretty much once you call them and open up an investigation, so they give you a service ticket number for an investigation, then they have, I believe it's 30 days for which to do the investigation. And if they haven't found it by then, they try to just, if it's insured, they give you your money back. If it's not insured, they tell you, sorry, you're shit out of luck, and that's it. And they put it on the list of lost packages. And if it turns up, they, like I said, destroy it or whatever, So man, hopefully, I don't know. I'm praying now. I'll be resorting to praying, and hopefully that this shit starts turning up. Because now I'm worried, because I just got somebody who ordered 3 pieces from me yesterday or Friday, right? And it's a 4-figure transaction. I'm kind of scared to ship. I told them I'd be shipping it tomorrow. Now I'm kind of scared. I'm just like, shit.
But like historically, Ruben, obviously you've sent out, countless amounts of packages, more than you can actually name the number.
Of course.
What percentage of that has gone completely missing and never got to the customer?
Oh, well, thank God, Akavi, I can tell you 0.
There you go. So I think Don't worry until you have to worry, I guess.
Oh no, I know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though. I'll tell you the reason I'm not worried yet. I'm getting a little bit more concerned than I typically would. The reason is, I'll tell you this: as it happens, okay, when I'm shipping out, right, it's always the shipper who has to be responsible for calling up their post office, you know, and opening up the trace on it, you know, and I can tell you, in my entire career as a seller, okay, when things have gone, you know, untracked for a long time, and I call up to open up a trace on them, every single time, without fail, Kavi, within no more than 3 to 5 days after I opened up this trace, the package arrives at the so it's like, it's amazing. It's like as soon as they take it so seriously, as soon as I call in and I open up this investigation, it's like they quickly track down the package and get it delivered within days, you know. But this time, the difference this time is that this is the first time that I've called and it hasn't been delivered after 4 or 5 days, and it's 11 days now and I haven't heard shit. So that's what's starting to get me concerned, you know? Yeah. Because it's always been like clockwork. 4 days, 5 days tops, and boom, there it is. Here's your package, sir. You know?
Previously, they were afraid of international incidents with Canadian citizens. Now no one cares.
So I don't know what your guys' experience is overall over the history of shipping, but you know, I've had an eBay account for like 26 years where I've been selling stuff, and I always ship through the USPS, and I've never had a problem until recently. Have I noticed really that they've been delayed a lot, and we're talking really the last year. All prior to that, no problems at all. So it makes me wonder, you know, where is the issue? I mean, you know, not sure.
Yeah.
But I just know I sold a old Max figure right in the package on eBay, and I sent packaged a big cardboard box, a reused Amazon box, packaged well, and it got there, and the guy, oh, you know, I didn't realize it was busted. I'm like, what are you talking about? He says, like, everything, the plastic was completely shattered. It was out of the box was beat up, you know, and it's like, well, I'll give you your money back. I didn't that's not how I acted, but I don't know what they're doing with it, but they're not taking any special care or anything, that's for sure.
I do a lot of eBay selling, like the figures and stuff. I primarily use eBay, and there's been a delay, but I haven't really had anything that's been, you know, a super long delay. I mean, nothing like the pandemic. Pandemic was terrible. I mean, it would go to the Philadelphia like sorting facility, just stay there for at least a week before it even moved anywhere.
Yeah.
But now it's slower, but it's things are moving. So.
Well, check this out, guys. So first of all, welcome, Andrew. Not a weekly regular, but good to see you here. So check out what he says. So I had a piece lost by FedEx for a year. They did a full search, couldn't find it. Spoke to the managers, blah blah blah. They said it's gone forever. Insurance paid out. A year later, they found it. So Andrew, just want to ask you, they found it a year after the first year of telling you they couldn't find it, or they found it quickly after that first year and right after they paid you out? The other thing is, when you found out that they found it, what happened? What happened to it? Do you know what happened to it? Like, was there an option for you to buy it back or something? Or yeah, let us know. Because oh man, that's rough. Like, you know. Hey, what's up, Derek? I feel like since they started doing this ground advantage thing, you guys, I guess, would know what that is. And that says USPS that goes through less than competent. Oh, third party.
It's a less expensive, not as expensive, like, because they got rid of first class mail, so it really was only priority that you could go.
Oh,
and
really?
Then, yeah, because I think first class mail was only like letters or just like up to like a certain amount, like a couple ounces. But now it's ground advantage or priority, and priority is expensive.
Right.
So,
it's that in between step between like media mail and priority mail.
Yeah. Oh, really? Wow. Yeah. Okay. And you're saying for that new service, ground advantage, obviously it's only a ground service, and you're saying. And you're saying it's primarily the ground stuff is they farmed it out to probably multiple different little
it's basically first class, but I don't know logistically what they actually like who's doing it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know that.
I didn't know what Derek said, but I never doubt Derek. So
yeah. That's crazy. Look what Marcus says. Sold one item through eBay last year, and then the buyer tried to steal my identity and apply for credit cards.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. Like, holy shit.
That is
Yeah, exactly, CJ. That's a good tip. Everybody, never put those big red fragile stickers. I suggest, I'll speak for myself. I never, ever write fragile with a marker, whatever, or please do not ban, please. No, that's just inviting a pissed off employee who hates his job to crush your package. You know?
You probably roll it into a tube.
I usually
They'll never suspect anything.
What's that?
I said, just roll it into a tube. They'll never suspect it's art.
Yeah, but your buyer won't be too happy about that, though.
I find if you just cut the panels, then you can put it in a regular envelope and mail it through with a stamp. So
say that. How? Say it again.
If you just cut the panels in the page, all of them out.
Cut them out.
You can just put it in an envelope and just mail it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you use the identifier as fragile and you have insurance on it, and then they break it, then you're like, "Oh, I marked it as fragile, guys. Come on."
You should just write like live fire ants like on the package, and then they'll just like get the hell out of there. It'll move quickly.
All right, Andrew has replied and says, so a year after the date it was supposed to be overnighted. Okay, they contacted
just 1 year total. 1 year total.
Yeah, right. They found it and asked what to do with it. They never explained what happened, and the shipper had third-party insurance. I repaid the insurance company, and then it was reshipped to me. Wow. Okay, you saved it. Okay, with an air tag in the package. Okay, good, Andrew. Wow, at least you saved the art. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Some people pay extra for a crushed package. Are you speaking about yourself, Stingray? Coming soon to Marvel Cards, Comic Art Cuts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so anyways, there's so much shit going on. Both United States Postal Service, the Canada Post. It's funny, you know, we had our strike for a month from mid-November to mid-December, but it seems, at least when I ship stuff, they get out of the country fast, right? It gets into the United States within 48 hours at most, so which is normal. Which, you know, it's crazy. That's what's nutty to me. We're the ones who were completely shut down for a month. You think we should be having slowdowns and packages going missing constantly, whatever. But somehow they can get it out of the country, and then it's the USPS that suddenly seems to be having all this problem.
As South Park just said, blame Canada, blame Canada.
Yeah.
They like get these packages out of here, and then we're stuck. You know, probably like it's probably like a staffing issue. Who knows what it is? But then packages sit there forever, and then before.
Yeah. So listen, guys, I figured, you know, once I had heard back from all of you agreeing to come on and hang out with me today, and then I realized, I was like, oh shit, every last one of these guys, to a man, was at OAX. So I was like, even if I don't plan it just, you know, by natural flow of conversation, I'm sure it would come up. So I thought, okay, it'll come up anyways. So I figured maybe we can, you know, talk if you guys are willing to kind of share a bit of your experience there for a few minutes a piece. You know, we can go back and forth on that. That'd be cool. But before even doing that, I wanted to hit on a particular thing that you, Carl, brought up. For those of you who saw Carl's video from 4 days ago, you know, his OAX haul and recap video. He talked about the fact that he went with a friend, Bill Byers, and that he made a sale of a piece of the Death of Superman art to Bill. He parted with it. And it's a topic that I've talked about before on my show, but now that I know somebody else in the hobby who has experienced this topic that I've talked about, I thought, okay, perfect. I would love Carl if you can kind of I know you did it obviously on that video. For anybody who, obviously a lot of people are too lazy to watch, hour-long pre-recorded videos or whatever. Since we're live, I think it'd be fun.
Sure. Yeah, I think I talked about it like 40 minutes into the video anyway, so that's nobody's watching that.
That's exactly.
So,
exactly.
Hey, I included my thoughts on that in my comment that I left.
I know. I mean,
and that's exactly. I saw that too. That's why it's like, okay, this is perfect because Kavi's here also. So I go, this is perfect. Yeah, we can.
That's how I kind of knew, like, the people that actually watched the video, like, because I think it's an interesting topic, and you brought it up, Ruben, like months ago, whatever that was. But like, I had already been kind of having those thoughts because I bought the Doomsday page. I want to say like 4 years ago, probably, and it was before the kind of a lot of the Death of Superman stuff went to auction, and then like Bogdanov sent his stuff to auction, and things kind of just blew up. And
Did
then
you buy it from a collector or
it was set up through. So the page actually was owned by one of it's a Tom Grummett, Doug Hazelwood page from Adventures of Superman 497, and it had been locked in a collection for 30 years, and it was friends of Tom and Nancy Grummett. And so they bought the page from them. There it is. 30 years ago, around the time of the story, and it was in their collection for a long time. And then they were getting to the point where they were looking to move it. And Byron Ham actually, and Ruben's aware of the situation too. But like, Byron was kind of shopping it around to fellow like collectors that he knew would really enjoy it. And I was very fortunate to be able to pick it up. Now it was the big thing about this page is it was the first time I really had to have a conversation with my wife about how to go about purchasing this page. I thought it was a really great opportunity. They don't come around a lot, and we dipped into savings to buy the page. It was a really great opportunity, and then so I got it at what I thought was a very reasonable price, and then. I've had it, and I didn't frame it because it was like, oh, I'll get around to it, and I haven't framed a lot of things just because I'm lazy. But then, the longer I went without framing it, the value kept going up, and I was like, oh man, like this is it. It got to the point where just within the last year, I've really been kind of thinking about. I mean, I only had it for it was like 4 years, I think, is when I bought it. So 3 years I had it, and then I just started getting nervous because it just the value kept going up and up and up. And I just thought.
I mean, like, forgive my ignorance about the current market value. I think it's a great page, art wise. I think it's awesome. What is that kind of a page worth in like today's?
So like I don't know about if I want to give like the actual
range,
number,
like a
but
range.
like
You have a range.
Yeah. Well, like you could buy a car. Like it's like
okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, and it was. The idea that we have a lot going on at the house, like
nice car or a Geo. No, I'm just
it's not, it might not have heated seats, but
EV car or
it would be a car that you could get around and do well with, but maybe not all the bells and whistles. So and you can't plug this car in either. So but yeah, so I just got to the point where we're going to be doing some housework. We've been meaning to remodel our kitchen since we moved in. But then we had kids, and the pandemic and everything kind of delayed that. And finally, like we're at the point where we're planning on getting this remodel done, and a little bit extra money back in the savings that could impact what we do and how we go about approaching the kitchen remodel. So,
everybody's nosy, as you can imagine. Everybody wants to know, like they're guessing.
There's a wide range of cars out there.
Yeah, what kind of a car could it buy, right? used or brand new.
Keep on guessing. So you can buy a new car, but it just got to the point where once the value was in that range, I was like, oh my god, I can't frame this. Like I can't. It was impacting how my enjoyment of the page, and then also the thing I talked about in the video is I went down a couple days early to visit a friend of mine who unfortunately really not doing well. And so just thinking about, he's a 48-year-old guy, and just it made me just think about a lot of things. And I wasn't enjoying this page. And if I wasn't enjoying it on the wall like it should be displayed and enjoyed, why did I have it? And it just got to the point where just a lot of factors made sense that it felt like a liability and it just kind of needed to go. Also, the fact that it was going to a friend. I know Bill's not going to. Bill has a great collection. I've seen his display of all his framed pages, and to have it go to that collection, that felt great too. So just everything, like all the boxes just kind of made sense. And it was the right time. We were both going to be in Orlando. So to kind of do a handoff, we negotiated down there. So it felt like the time, and I feel great about it. I don't regret it at all. We'll see. Maybe years down the line, I'm like, oh my god, that's worth what? But I feel like the more valuable it would become, it would just the stress that it brought me would be amplified as well. So
didn't you say that as soon as you got home, some other opportunity or consolation prize arose though, or something?
Absolutely, and that should probably be here maybe tomorrow. So
that's the subject of another video for your channel.
Correct? Yeah, it's like the case of the art gods either blessing me or cursing me. I don't know, because I felt like a responsible adult. Like, okay, I moved this page.
It's debatable. It's debatable.
No, it's like I'm like, damn it.
Hey, Carl, were you afraid of framing it because you were worried a piece that expensive in the hands of the framer, or you were worried about it just being on the wall and being that valuable?
It just being on the wall, that valuable. And at the same time, like right around, we're talking about the fires in California. We obviously know people, Lee impacted by that. So all of these things were going on in my mind that just kind of culminated in that moment. Like, yeah, this is definitely the right thing for me to do. And yeah, it got to the point where, since we're doing things to improve the home that will benefit the family, like owning that page primarily benefited me. And that was it. Like no one else in the family really cared about the page. So
as it should be, Carl, as it should be.
That's right. But what we can do in the kitchen now and create a space is going to be good for the family. I feel like it just a lot of it just made sense. So.
Hey Carl, did Derek give you any input as far as the sale of that?
No, so I felt really, really terrible.
I felt like his input was, "Why didn't you sell it to me, you bastard?"
Exactly.
But I felt like a giant jerk because
I didn't know it was like a car value.
And that's why I was like, it kind of floored me. Like when I initially was like talking to Bill and like what we both kind of were looking at past sales of stuff, and a lot of like the Grummet stuff just hasn't been out there. So. And it's a tough thing to price. Could I have gotten more if I sent it to Heritage? I don't know. I mean, maybe, but but then I wouldn't feel as good about it because I like knowing where it is. And I've said that all along. Anytime I sell things, I like knowing where they are. Like I've sold some things to Lee. I've sold some things to a bunch of people, and I like finding homes that make sense for these pieces of art. So yeah,
I just want you to know that Vivian popped her head into the office just to say she heard you. She's listening.
She's like, do we have any new pieces of paper?
She's not. She's just saying, oh, you can't find it on the market because you can't find it on the market because you have it all.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah. That's not true. I definitely don't have Death of Superman related stuff, so that you can't find that with me. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
Well,
so you say.
I have one piece, but no, and I just wanted to address Marcus. Easier to carry one piece than 30. Let's say in a fire or whatever. True, but at the same time, Marcus, you never know how the circumstances are going to go down, and if the bad event happens when you're not home, the more value you have into one given piece, the more of your net worth is up in flames really quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the pro and the con to it,
A question for Carl though. Yeah. So if you had now you said when you bought this, you had the discussion with your wife about it, and it was a big chunk of change. What if you had bought that way back when Death of Superman came out and you bought it for $50, $100? Would you feel would that feel the same pressure on you?
Yeah, I probably. I would imagine so. It would, and who knows? I might have gotten to that point sooner. Honestly,
it's more about current value than what you paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Well, I think that may be the case, but if you've shelled out a good chunk of change of it, you'll feel. I think you'll feel the loss more keenly if something happens to it.
That's very true. Yeah, that makes sense.
You'll really feel the weight.
I can vouch for one thing when we were talking about, in case of a catastrophe, a Pontiac G8, you can fit a lot of portfolios in the trunk of a Pontiac G8, guys. Because all of my artwork went into that trunk. 99% of it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, everybody, please, if you don't mind, if you're watching right now live, hit the. Oh yeah, I'm very far from pointing away at it, but it's right somewhere right below where Kavi's sitting. The thumbs up icon, if you don't mind, just hitting that's
if you're
the
on
like.
YouTube and you don't know where the thumbs up button is right now,
What are you
got
doing?
other problems.
I always speak as if there's always newbie type people.
I don't think you're the first destination for someone who has just discovered.
Oh,
no offense, Ruben, but I think
www.youtube.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, now you guys, you see what you see now. You guys understand why on my channel I allow as much swearing as you want to. I can tell people like Kavi to go fuck himself. You see what I mean? There you go.
I'm happy to be told that.
There you go. There you go.
It's
love. I'm just adding value.
Good to see you, Nick.
Personal
by the way.
Value.
Who else? Oh, Maki Poo Poo's in the house. Hey, what's up? And Jewish Dragons has popped in. There you go. Hello.
Hey, Michael.
Dave, hey, what's up, by the way, Dave? I saw you, but I didn't say hi to you. Good to see you. Great reasoning and for it going towards the family. Congrats on the sale. There you go.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, thanks.
And it's hard to evacuate frame pieces. That's true. I mean, that's, I planned out the same kind of thing. I keep looking like, what do I do if a fire breaks out? And of course, it's so hypothetical because you don't know if the fire, like, let's say, first of all, even if you're home, is the fire breaking out on the back side of the house, or is it here in the front where I'm closer to me? So that's you don't know, right? So you don't know, depending on where the flames are, whatever. Like, what am I going to be able to, what part of the house am I going to be able to run into and out of quickly to grab shit, or will I be able to at all, right? So, but that's saying
that it might not make a lot of sense because I could still have multiple pieces that equal the value of that page. But for whatever reason, it's just the to have it be in one single piece, which I know will continue to go up in value. I mean, it's a story that's kind of.
Stanley just asked that same question. Why does it feel different to have a lot of value in one piece?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you that when I bought the page,
that's going to be different. That's going to be different for everybody. Like,
and it wasn't like I'd never anticipated having this feeling. I mean, I thought like, oh yeah, that's it. The reason I bought it was because like, oh yeah, the opportunity's there. I love that story. It's only going to go up in value. Like, it's a safe kind of buy. But then it just got to the point where I was like, damn. Like,
I mean, I tend to do the opposite, where I let go of a lot of smaller value pieces in order to get that one big value piece, and I'm totally comfortable, owning it or whatever. It's just different, different for different collectors and different.
That's exactly right, and that's why I thought it would be a fun topic to talk about, because I figured just with us in the studio, you got 6 potentially different views on the topic, right? Like, look at Gil. Hi, Gil, by the way. I keep 4 portfolios of higher end art inside a Jim Lee hex bag. I don't know what that is, but some kind
of those backpacks that can fit a portfolio.
I see. Okay.
He made this like cool backpack. I think it was like a San Diego release a few years ago.
Ready for an emergency. Ready to fly out the door, right, Gil? That's crazy.
Hey, Lee.
So for me, like I said, like I don't want to get too into it because I've talked about it before, but like you say, Kavi, it's different for everybody. There's something, I don't know, there's just something about having so much money tied into any one single piece that really makes me nervous. Okay, so think of it this way, and I'm sure you'll find a way to counter this. That's fine. Okay, so I'm just telling you the thought process that goes through my head. So I feel like having one piece.
Keep it down, Ruben. Down.
I feel like having one piece
That's just Lee passing gas.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Are you sure he's outside or she?
No, she just ran inside. Hey, Casey, can you hear me? Can you do something with the dogs? Please. Thank you. She's like barking away here.
Dogs are the best. I love dogs.
Oh
So,
boy.
I want to interject here real quick because we're talking about frame pieces, and frame pieces easily stack on top of portfolios in the trunk of a car. And Jason was going to ask me something, and I was curious as to what it was.
Yeah. So God forbid you ever have to do it again. But having gone through what you've gone through, would you change the way you have your art displayed or positioned, or will you keep it differently so that in the future, God forbid, you have to grab it, you can?
No, actually, the way it was set up, it worked out. My wife, on the inside of our closet door, like where our entryway is, she had a list of items to take in case of an emergency and having to evacuate. And, a couple of them include my art portfolios, and it said 4 framed art on the walls. So, we were looking at that, and we grabbed that, and all of that went, and it went quickly. So I would just do it the same way. All my portfolios were in the same space next to my desk, just jammed in next to each other. So it was easy to do, and it worked out fine. After I don't know if any of you guys know, but I know I told a few of you, but my garage burned down, and I had like a lot of other collectibles in there, unfortunately. And I'm making this list now in the Excel sheet, and I'm like, the list is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm like, well, I'm glad it wasn't my artwork, but in the meantime, all this stuff and stuff that I realized after the fact that when somebody would mention something, I go, oh shit, I lost that too. I'm like, and that was really disappointing. But yeah, so glad that the art was safe right away.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's one of the things that regard leaving the artwork out of it, and if you're in a danger zone and so forth. I mean, we've always, the family had a list of what do we have to get out of the house in terms of important papers and family heirlooms and so forth, like photographs and so forth, that really are irreplaceable to us, not just individually. And going through that, it's just you have to figure out what in that list is, and maybe that's a good way to weed out your collection too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no more toys for me. I'm done.
In keeping with what the topic that we brought up for because of Carl and what he did with his piece, like look at Tom saying that when I sell a high dollar piece, I always buy a few nice pieces with the money, so I feel I gain a lot more than lost, and that's true too. It's not just for this feeling of security or insecurity about having too much money in one piece. It's like there's various different things. Like I feel the same way as Tom in that respect, where it's like I like so much, so many different types of comic art, and I feel like the thing about having very expensive pieces, I feel like let's say for example it's a $10,000 piece, just to put some context to it with dollar amounts. If it's $10,000 piece, and I love it. Right? I love it. That's fine. Okay. But it makes me nervous. I'm like, oh man, 10 G's just in this one thing. Like if somehow I'm looking at it one day and oops, I don't know, somehow I trip or something happens, some crazy, shitty luck, and it gets crushed, whatever, it tears or whatever. Whereas when I take the 10 grand and I bought multiple pieces, now, they're all spread out, throughout multiple portfolios. So that same kind of risk of damage or whatever is not quite there, right? Because all the money's been spread out more. That's also what I think about. But like Tom says, in terms of just as collectors, we're all collectors, and I just feel like, although I love my $10,000 page, the reality is, and I've said this before, is I don't necessarily love that $10,000 page 10 times as much as I love my $1,000 piece over here. You see, that's the thing, is that there's this huge disparity between like this piece over here versus the value of that piece over there, that for me does not, and I'm sure I could say for everybody, it does not correlate to the amount of, how much you love that piece versus the other piece. That's the thing. the more the expensive that the art gets, it gets, it's many multiples above what other pieces are. Yet I don't think I know anybody who would admit who would claim that they love that piece. Oh my God, the enjoyment they get is like 10 times more. Like it's not possible to love something 10 times more than what you already love over here. Am I
Well, and it's kind of interesting because I mean, some of the things, if you really love, let's say you want a Frazetta piece, you're going to pay through the nose on that regardless. And I was watching one of the OAX videos, and I didn't see it in person, that Mike Berkey had a fairly large Frazetta, and he estimated that, and he was holding it, waving it around. It's like 800,000. Like, I'd be having a cow right now. Just I wouldn't want. I'd love it. Would I love it more than the other? Probably, but I couldn't. That level of zeros would make me really, really nervous. I think we all have a pain threshold there as well. So I mean, I think you can love it more and still make you like crazy nervous.
Especially if you don't have like security, like you'd have to have like good security for your house and everything. So, but you don't know who's going to find out about it, right?
I'd like to attain that level of nervousness.
It surprised me for sure.
That's funny. Carl, because I don't know, I'm pretty sure we when we talked about this, I think I told you. So that piece you ultimately sold, I told you that it was offered to me, right? Yeah. Okay. So, and that's the thing too, is that like I said, okay, like it was. Again, I know people are curious. All I will say is that it was offered to me. It was at a 5-figure price. Okay, so I'll say that. And again, I just felt like I could buy it, but I just feel like, nah, I would rather take 10 grand and save it for because at the time that he offered it to me, he offered to me another Grummet Superman page. Pre-death, and that's my favorite era for Grummet on Superman. Pre-death, and it has the Forever People and Darkseid on it, And I bought that one. Well, that one was, I don't know, I can't remember. Like I think it was $700, right? So and the art on the one you just sold, it's no better. It's the same. It's no better.
I saw that page as well because I said, because he told me that they had the two, and then I saw both pages. Like, it's a beautiful page. Like, to have that for 700, like that. Congrats, beautiful.
No, thank you. And that was my point. That was like when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I would rather not that they were available, but I would still rather, if they were available, I'd rather get 13 or 14 or 15 $700 Grummet Superman pages than just this one. That's just how I see it, because I get that would give me 12 to 15 times the ability of art to enjoy, right, for the same price. To me, that's where the value comes in.
Yeah, you know, the flexibility to kind of have more in the collection and to experience and enjoy more art. So.
Yeah. But I mean, there's that. Well, I mean, this goes to a discussion of also quantity versus quality, and that's all in the eye of the beholder. I don't mean to say. I mean, I've got a lot of the stuff. One of the stalwarts of my collection is the Filipino art from the 70s and the horror stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff under the calf, and I love each one of those pages. They're not expensive, but they do get heavy, after a while. And they start saying, okay, would you rather have like 40 of those or a Bernie Wrightson page? And you kind of go, I kind of like a Bernie Wrightson page, because I have the other stuff too. So I mean, they're a limit to that I'd rather have five $1,000 pages than a $5,000 page.
Okay, but let me ask all of you guys this just straight out. Okay, first of all, how many of you, just raise your hand, how many of you have bought a piece and over time, just with the flow of the market, that piece, okay, let's say at least let's say a piece that's at least $500, okay, that you bought it at 500 to 1,000, in that range, and through the course of you just owning it, it went up, let's say 10 times, 8 times, 12 times, whatever, like something really crazy like that. Can any of you, can you claim that? Yeah, Kavi?
Yeah.
You have that too, Hunter?
Yeah, I've won Kaluta cover
Okay.
for
Okay.
Secret Sinister. It's one of my favorites. I paid $1,000 for it. It's probably I know it's above 10 for sure. And the Sandman I have paid. So, I mean,
okay, and so the questions to both of you. You it never bothers you? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to make you feel like you have to agree with me or Carl, but you never really, when you look at it, you look at it, doesn't make you feel like a little nervous, like, oh man, that's a lot of money in this, or for any reason?
No. Because I think, like I said, for me, I don't have the money in it. I mean, when the $1,000 I spent on the Kaluta cover was a lot for me at the time. I did time payments for that, and I was just like, I can't believe I just spent 4 figures on it. You know, so I never thought of it going up, and I've never I don't purchase with that in mind. Maybe that's a difference as well. Now, if I'd spent $20,000 on it, I'd be a lot more nervous because that's what I have in it. And I know it should, but you know, if you're not planning on selling it, it doesn't.
Right.
For me.
I wish I had spent more money in the 90s when I was buying. I wish I had bought higher end pieces because you know, I have a lot of those pieces that, you know, they've grown, you know, to 10 or more times their value, but I didn't spend that much money on them. So but yeah, I wish I had bought, you know, like a $500 piece, you know, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah,
that was just too cheap, I guess.
So look at hoarders. How's it going, Scott? By the way, I spread my collections out, some at the warehouse, some at the house. In case of disaster, at least I won't lose everything. Right, that's pretty good for safety reasons. If the house is on fire, the only thing I'm grabbing is the dogs. Interesting. Okay. And you can't have the 10 pieces or at the 10 pieces. Yeah, but Marcus, you wouldn't be selling a $10,000 piece just to then sell it, spend it on crap. You know what I mean? So buy more crap to appreciate your best pieces. I'm so animated. I burn about 3,000 calories per stream. I do. I have a collection in 6 locations. Rather have it all on display together, but it feels safer. Yeah, so some of us think of it in terms of the safety. Some of us just want more art for the money. So I say a majority.
I didn't get a chance to answer. I didn't get a chance to answer for my.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cobby.
Yeah, chime in. Like, because you know, coming from sort of being a slabbed comic collector into the art hobby about 8 years ago, that, you know, that's kind of when I first started dabbling.
Yeah.
I kind of was already over the paranoia of having too much money or too much value into one single item, you know, because there are single comic books that I have owned, whether I still own them or I no longer own them, that were worth like, you know, 1,000 comics worth of dollars. You know what I mean? Like a single comic in a slab is worth the same as these like 1,000 comics, right? Like in my collection. So I kind of already got over that sense of paranoia or worry about the current market value of a single thing or, you know, a single item before I even started collecting art. So I think that's why I don't necessarily have the same kind of paranoia or worry about that. Whereas in my head, having 4 pieces that are worth $2,500 each versus having 1 piece versus 10,000, I don't think about it that often, and I have no more nervousness over owning that $10,000 piece versus owning 4 of the $2,500 pieces at all. It's the same thing in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, that's what makes it an interesting topic to me, because I'm aware that the way Carl and I feel, I know that it's not everybody who feels that way. You know, I know that it bothers some of us, and others are, you know, I've talked to other people privately who are just like, huh, what? No, I don't give a crap. Like I've talked to people who are not in the spending sort of level of like more than, let's say, a few thousand on a piece, right? But they've been around long enough that some of the art in their collection has gone up to $50,000, you know, or more, and they're fine. You know, they're like I say, you don't get nervous about that, having that much money in that one single piece. And no, I love to have it. I still love looking at it, whatever. And they're good. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm good. You know, so, okay, yes, yeah. I'd be like nervous. I'd be looking to get rid of it, and yeah.
Well, see, but I think that's and I think this is probably the wrong way of thinking about it. But that's the thing is, if you bought it a long time ago, you don't have the money into it. I mean, that's
hold on. Because you always argue that, Hydra, and I get it, and you're right. You're right, but you're wrong, because I feel like when you take that thought process, I feel it's wrong to dismiss the paper profits that you have, because I'll tell you why. The way I see it is, yes, even though you didn't put that money into it, Hydra, the reality is, I think it's wrong. I think it's not a good idea to think of those paper profits as, illusionary, because the fact remains, as well as I do, if you really did want to part with the piece, then that money, those thousands of paper profit you have built in, it becomes real. The money's real. It's just that you've never realized it. You've never crystallized that.
But I think it's if you, again, putting on and I'm going to make a very, very specious division here: a collector versus a dealer, because and we've talked about this before. Whether everybody's a dealer at heart, maybe, but I really tend not to sell, which I kind of have to change just a paradigm in my collection. But the thing is that if you don't have it in mind to sell, then it doesn't matter. You tell me it's worth $1 million, billion. I'm like, yeah, sure it is. Whereas if you're used to trading or selling or so forth, you're keeping that more in the forefront of your mind. I think there is a mental difference there.
Yeah, I think. I mean, so if we weren't doing like remodeling the house, or we weren't doing something to kind of improve the quality of the house for the whole family, would I have maybe had these feelings? Maybe not. But it's just like I said, the combination of things kind of culminated in yeah, this is probably the right time to do it. And the fact that I was even thinking about it was a sign to me that I was like, yeah, this is probably something I should move on from. Because I would not have expected that when I bought the page. So.
And I actually have a corollary question for this, and I'm going to exempt everybody who's actually on video and be found by the IRS, and don't answer this. But I'm kind of curious how many people, in estimate, actually report their sales if it's in private hands.
So I think I received a check. And that check was deposited, and it was an amount that automatically triggers
a review.
Yeah. So I feel like it got reported. So
I report everything. I do everything through an LLC.
Yeah. It's just kind of curious because there was a discussion that shall remain nameless, but everybody's seen on the boards about a very big trade that happened at OAX, and kind of going,
sure, yeah,
that should trigger things. I wonder if anybody. I mean,
but a trade
should it or shouldn't it with a trade? If there was cash on top, right?
Oh, okay.
But I mean, again, perceived value. Because there was a discussion, was it a fair trade? And people say, well, I like this, I like that, and the thing is, if there is a disparity in values there is a taxable event. I mean, you're trading; it is taxable.
Trades are taxable.
Anyway. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do enough of it. I don't do enough trading. Really,
how Jason can say so much by saying so little.
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. The whole.
Actually, I haven't traded anything though. But my mind was pondering. So, yes.
Yeah, that's like that. I don't know anything about that because obviously I'm in a different country. It was different laws with how that goes. But I've heard from different people bits and pieces about the craziness of how your government expects its citizens to declare certain sales of collectibles and used items. I don't know. It's crazy.
A sale
trading thing involved. I've heard about that too. Trading still. And by the way, that I happen to know in Canada also. Technically, if you go by the book, we also are supposed to tell them and declare if you made some sort of trade on things of, if you bartered for things of value and you gained in the trade, you're also supposed, but it's so hard to, it's so difficult to
objective.
Yeah, right. And it's hard to keep track of it. So nobody does, right? Not that trading is such a common thing anyways, right? Bartering or whatever, but But yeah, it's like it's something that, you know, everybody, whoever does it gets away with it just because, yeah, they can't really police it anyways. But by the book though, that, yeah, you're supposed to even keep track of trading and all that shit.
And I mean, as the stock gets more expensive, you do wonder, you know, if somebody eventually is going to throw an eye on it. Because I mean, if you're trading $100 pages, who gives a darn? It's de minimis.
Yeah.
You start adding zeros behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, a great moment for me to pause. Those of you who are here regularly will remember that last week I had Carl Choi in the house for a show and tell episode, and that was a lot of fun. And Carl, in his excitement, forgot to give a plug to a project that he has going. So I offered it to come back on this week and just give him an opportunity to plug that. And well, you're not on camera yet, Carl. Stop showing it. I'm the only one who can see you down there right now at the moment.
He's that excited about it, Ruben.
That's how excited he is. But yes, so if you don't mind, please let me bring him in right now. I'll give him the stage for a few moments. Look at him. What a guy. And let me put you here.
Give him the big camera. Yeah, give him that big camera.
He always needs to be in the top to get the big shot, right, Kavi?
He needs to be the center of attention.
Special effects. As
there
if
you
it
go.
appears on one window, it comes into the other one. That's how connected the Carls are in this world.
I didn't bring my copy, but I got one.
I was ready, Carl.
What's up?
What's up,
Ruben,
man?
thanks for having me back on. Hey,
yeah, you're
I
welcome.
to hang out too. Actually, it's good to see Lee, Hydra. A lot of things you were saying, I had some thoughts on as well. Kavi, my boy, and what's up, Jason? How's it going? Thanks for having me. So yeah, real quick. I mean, I would love to hang out if that's cool, Ruben, because you guys are getting into some really fun stuff. But,
now you're ready to hang out. You didn't bother to mention you wanted to, but now you want to hang out. Now that you see it's kind of cool. Oh, now I'll hang out if you let me.
It's damn cool. It's damn cool. So I had some activity this morning. And my wife wanted lunch, so of course I had to make that priority. So I apologize for the tardiness. But Bladesmith, super excited. It's a book that's been like 5 years in the making. We all love Kreese, who's the artist for this book. What's really fun is for this campaign, we are running the first 3 issues, and he's just finished the 4th issue. And basically, what's fun about it is he finished the first issue about 4 years ago. And I remember this phone call to me, and he was so timid. It was the first time I had the most kind of awkward phone call from him. He's like, "Oh, Carl, I gotta say something." And he was so scared. You could totally tell he's shaking his voice. And I loved it. It's really cute. But he was like, Marvel just called and they offered me, the Fantastic Four annual. I don't know, you'll continue this, and he's like, "Is it cool if I take a break?" I was like, "Dude, of course, bro." I'm like, "Dude, go do Fantastic Four. It's gonna be great for your creator-owned stuff." And so he went, and then he finished. He came back. "Oh, thank you so much." Then he finishes issue 2. Then I get a second awkward phone call, and then it was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry, but Marvel wants me to do an issue of Iron Man." I was like, "Dude, please go do Iron Man." And so you guys, if you track his kind of resume, you've tracked that he's done a lot since. And so one of the coolest things about this book is the artist's evolution that you'll be able to see through each issue, because he basically had 1 year break for each of them. So we launch on Tuesday. Ruben, thanks for sharing the website in the chat.
Yeah, no worries. The link is right there, everybody.
Yeah, a very small ask is this: if the algorithm gods are everything in this kind of Kickstarter world. So they really track the followers. So, whoever's available, or if you're not following already, those who are following already, thank you very much. But you don't even have to back the campaign. I'm just asking for follows for this campaign, because if we could break that 200 follow mark, it basically gets us to a certain tier of Kickstarter promotion. So yeah, all I ask is quick follow, no obligations to back it. But if you're interested in checking it out, we'll probably post issue 1 for free on our website to read. And for those of you who were at OAX, we had 100 copies of these, limited to 100 copy printed. And if I remembered, or I saw you at the time, I passed one to you. So we kind of mark, the editions of what we print. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed the story, the quality. And that's all. Just wanted to do a quick plug. Ruben, we had such a good time on our show last week.
Yeah,
Like
for
I
sure.
totally forgot. And so it's funny because he mentioned it too. He was like, "Oh yeah, later you should like plug it." I just literally like blanked out because honestly, like for me, that was such a fun journey. So like whoever hasn't done like a show of Ruben yet, like please do it because it was like a really cool journey through my own personal collection because there's so many pieces that I haven't looked at for a while. I literally like Ruben afterwards went to my safe, opened it up, and started pulling out portfolios to look at the pieces that you picked because there was just like been so long I haven't really looked at some of them. And so yeah, dude, like really advise everyone to go through it. And thank you for that experience, Ruben. That's all I had to share. And if you guys will have me, I would love to hang out for a bit.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Let me look at
Well,
that.
now that begs a question on
Alberto.
the you have a safe where you keep your art.
I know exactly. That in parlaying to continue that conversation, and it's funny because I didn't get a safe early on because it was kind of a thing, but as kind of offers came in, trade values came in, you're kind of like, wait a minute, like this is worth stuff, and so that's kind of why we got the safe. But what was weird was during the fires, like last month, my wife read the fine print. Even though I custom built like a fireproof safe, she like, did you read the inside? It says only safe for 2 hours. So of course I had to evacuate all your stuff. And so no fireproof safe. And I did research. No fireproof safes are fireproof really for more than like an hour or two. And so
That's true.
It's a temperature. Yeah, I mean it's paper too. We're talking about paper.
You'll melt it.
You know what I hate about safes. You guys can tell me, those of you will, at least you, Carl, because you seem to know something about it. Over here, if you go to any store that sells safes and you buy one, they'll sell it to you, but they will only deliver it to your front door. And if there's any elevation whatsoever of any kind, they're like, screw you. Yeah, you're on your own now. They will not bring it into your house. They will not bring it up the stairs to your front door. Nothing.
Export personal injury lawyers to Canada.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are very litigious. You guys are very litigious people. We are not. So, yeah, that's it. But it's just, I don't know if you guys know anything about that. Like, will they, if you buy a safe, do they bring it right into the room of the house that you want it in, or?
Mine was great. Mine, a few stories up, and also
Wow.
drilled it, installed it, everything. And so
Wow. And what was the weight? How much is the weight?
It's super heavy. It'll be like impossible for anyone
Like,
to
like
get out.
hundreds of pounds?
I wouldn't be surprised 1,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh
So
wow. Okay.
yeah. So
Ruben,
I think it's really well installed. But one of the things I did learn, I guess, just kind of, I think someone mentioned gun safes. So gun safes are not advisable for anything to do with paper because they actually use some sort of chemicals in manufacturing and in protecting, I guess, metals and woods that actually works against your paper and is acidic, and it'll actually kind of wear the paper and yellow it. And so anyone who used gun safe, just be aware, because my safe guy was like, give me a whole 101 on like the type of metals and type of fireproofing to use. So yeah, be definitely careful about that.
Okay.
Here,
Wow.
Ruben, the safe guys are happy to bring it in. They'll count the steps from your door to your safe. They'll set the combo for you, and they'll be happy to service it later when you're
Exactly.
The hours of midnight and 3 a.m.
Exactly.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm sure they will. All right, guys, let us get into what I mentioned at the top of the show that I thought we would, like I said, by natural course of the conversation, we talk about OAX, and literally even with the new addition of Carl here to the group, again, we still have a 100% attendees at OAX this past year. But
one of these is not like the other, Ruben.
Yeah, except for one.
Except
What
what?
do you mean? We're not keeping up the charade anymore?
He left early.
No,
Next
that's
year,
it.
Ruben.
I wasn't there full time, is what I'm saying, But No, actually, so some of you guys I've spoken to privately, so I already know a little bit. If I can start actually with you, Jason, would like you to sort of give me a little feedback, because I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, because I do sometimes misremember. Last year, when we did our show to recap OAX, the first year OAX, my memory was that you had said, oh, you really loved it. And I think you started off by saying, the problem, though, is I blew my financial load within 20 minutes or something, like some crazy. Okay.
Nothing to be embarrassed about, Jason. Nothing.
Financial.
Were you able to fend off doing that this time and spread it out throughout the weekend? How did it go?
No, it was gone even before the show had opened.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, I had already arranged. I hadn't intended, but a couple weeks before the show, I picked up something on a Felix drop.
Okay.
And so, I was going to be honest with my wife and say, okay, that was part of the budget. That was part of the OAX budget. And then I bought something off of Jim Warden and arranged for that. I made arrangements for that before the show had even started, like a couple weeks ahead. And then when Jim got to the show, he said, why don't you come on up to my room and pick it up? And so then, of course, he had other folios there on the bed that I started flipping through. And then, well, I'll take that one. And so my budget I actually went over budget before the show even opened.
And I didn't know that was going on.
Jason.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Yeah, with Jason, I thought he was just hanging out. I was like, I'd see him every morning. He was talking about buying anything, and I didn't see him.
I was there for
picking anything out.
Yeah, I was there for moral support. I was trying to get my friend to be just totally irresponsible and spend ridiculous amounts of money, but he held strong.
That's what we do to make ourselves feel better.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you do from the time that the show opened? Did you just did you still go and tease yourself by looking for art?
Oh, for sure.
Oh.
Because I think it's one of those shows where you don't know what you're going to see. And so even though I kind of go with a budget in mind, I mean, if there's that one-of piece that I'll never see again and it's within reason, then it's going to be some quick phone calls back home and say, hey, look, I know what we talked about, but there's this thing. And, so yeah, you got to look and you got to see what's out there. And, I was being good. There was a lot of temptations, but, nothing I had to have or it was beyond my price point, and that quickly shuts things down. So,
well, there's something also very wrong with a hobby when you start having discussions like, well, it's only 5,000.
Right. Yeah.
We're all sick.
Yeah. I mean, there is so much to look at. I mean, the first part of the first day, you can, do you want to just go look at what artists have, in front of them? And then, or do you want to go to the dealers, or did you want to go to the galleries? There's just a lot going on. And then you have this one plan in your head that, hey, I'm going to walk up and down the artists' tables, but then you get sidetracked and, one of the collectors' tables that you had no idea what they were going to bring or who was going to be there. So now you kind of drift over there and then you get distracted. And yeah, it was just, there's always something you can do, even if you're not actively buying or spending, because you can't control yourself.
There's conversations to be had, just the socializing aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But how much of that did you so in other words, in terms of spending your time, because it was 2 days, how much time did you spend sort of more focused on still looking through all the art versus, okay, let me see, because I know, you've admitted, when we first met, you admitted, you came onto my show, you admitted even on camera that it's kind of I said it was a big deal for you to come on with me, and it was great because you admitted that you're not typically the Mr. Outgoing extrovert type personality, So right. I always wonder about people who are a bit shyer or introverted. Did you find yourself going up to people that you recognize, that you knew from online, and saying hello and introducing yourself? Or
well, I think Carl has a picture that kind of testifies to the kind of.
Does that kind of with him coming in? What's up, bitches?
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. That's definitely me.
He's a welcoming face that he just, he just can't not just walk up and talk to him.
You see the nose coming before you see anything else. No, I mean, if it's people that I've met, or that's the other weird thing about OAX for me is that from all these shows that we watch and the chats, you think you know people. You've seen them on a channel 20 times, so I recognize them. Of course, I know Carl, or I know Kavi, but they've never met you, and so you walk up as kind of a stalker. And you're like, hey, I know you,
No way.
Oh, who the heck are you? But no, I was still, I wouldn't say that I'm like overly social. I mean, I don't go running up to an artist table and then, hey, let's trade phone numbers and let's be buddies. But I certainly like to look around. Like I want to hit up all the dealers and kind of get an idea of, the art that I am looking for. What is the price point? What do they have? Because some of them bring stuff that they don't have on their website. Right. It's in their folios. And so you get to look at that kind of stuff. And so yeah, there's tons to go around. But I mean, you can just stand at Berkey's or Anthony's table and just listen to them talk to other collectors all day long. They're just trading stories and war stories and listen to them barter and deal and what kind of deals they're making, kind of learn from it.
Right. Okay.
A lot of people are bringing up portfolios to Berkey too, and it was interesting to see what those people were offering, the exchange between them. So I was listening to that a little bit.
Hydra brought his folios that he had put in samples of his collection, and they were great. We just kind of pulled up to a table and took whatever time it took us to get through all of it and have him explain it. It's really cool.
I appreciate that. Was actually one of the things that I really appreciated, because I did schlep him along, and I was just like, having a room full of people that may not have the same taste or interest as you do, but we're all sort of, as opposed to usually you're one in a crowd of people kind of like, oh, you collect that? Well, that's kind of cool. Right. That's sort of it's a fun thing to do.
So let me ask you, as a group then, which one of you, if any, would you say that that you were pretty sociable, you're out there and physically going up to people and saying hello? Anybody like saying, hey, so and so, hey, it's me, whatever, hi.
I mean, I kind of put myself in that category, I guess, a little bit. Like I'm not the most social person either necessartically, but
that's hard to believe. That's hard to believe.
Yes, but I mean, I wouldn't put myself as pessimistically about being social as Jason may have just there. But,
Jason.
I was at Miller's. Like it was interesting because it's really a 4-day show. It's not really when you think about it, because me and a lot of other people were there on Thursday. You know what I mean? And there's not really much. There's not really much else to do on Thursday besides meet other people and go to Miller's and look at portfolios and stuff like that. And really on Friday, half the day before the VIP reception starts at night is pretty much the same thing, where it's like you're just meeting people, looking at portfolios, hanging out. You could get early access to whoever's setting up early.
I will say that at the first OAX, because the weather permitted, at the VIP dinner, you've got these big round tables that seat 10, and most of us are not there with a group of 10. So that kind of forced you to sit down and then find out who's sitting at your table. Where are you from? What do you collect? That kind of stuff. And I enjoyed that last year. This year, the weather didn't permit. So once you got into that kind of dining area, there was still some of that, but it was easier to kind of sequester.
I'll use one example of many, right? Like, I finally got to meet Bill J. You know what I mean? Freaking Bill J. Like, who can break calf with every post he makes.
Oh, Bill Johnson?
Bill J. Yeah, one of the best, one of the craziest top tier collectors on Comic Art Fans, bar none.
Cool.
He'll put up a piece and it'll get 60 to 80 comments, like guaranteed, every time. And, I've been following his gallery for years. He's been following mine. And I'm always very appreciative of the fact that somebody with a collection to that level actually comments on my uploads every once in a while. Like once a month, he'll sit down and do a ton of comments. So they're always really highly detailed, very insightful comments. And so when I saw him, I just went straight up to him and we had a 15-minute conversation, which was awesome. And we talked about art and collecting, and super nice guy. And it was nice to finally have a real life conversation with somebody you've been interacting with on CAF that
sure.
you value their input on your own artwork because of the caliber of collection that they have. And now you're actually getting to talk in person about collecting and the philosophy of our collections and stuff like that. So that's just one of like 20, 30 times that happened to me where I'm like meeting this other collector that I know online for the first time. And whether it was 30 minutes to an hour of conversation or just 5 minutes, it always felt like it was a valuable experience that I took away from the show, like including several of these guys for the first time. You know, I got to spend a lot of time with Lee and Hydra and, you know, Carl. I wish I got to spend more time with Carl and Jason. I wish I got to spend more time with you. Like there was so many people that you honestly, there were certain people that you wish you got to spend even more time with, which was kind of, you know, a little bit of a bummer at the end. Like what you spend 4 days there and you're like, whoa, I met like 100 people I'd never met before, but I only really spent like multiple hours with like 20 to 30 people. You know what I mean? You can't spend multiple hours with 100 people over 4 days.
Yeah, and have it actually like be a quality interaction.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a little interesting in hindsight, trying to remember everything that happened, everyone you spoke to. Like it's a bit of a blur now that a few weeks have gone by. You know?
Yeah. Hey, just want to say shout out to my old friend Assad, all the way in England. What's up? What's happening, dude? Holy shit! Been a minute. Good to see you drop in. Wow. Shocking. What are you doing here? Oh, yeah, it's true. Good timing. It's an afternoon show for me. It's only evening for you. Hey, good to see you, mate. Wow.
Alberto, you're even cooler than Bill J. Don't sell yourself short, bro.
Oh, hey, Alberto, check your Gmail, please. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's good. It feels really good to have spoken to the people that I've spoken with, including you guys, and hear so much nothing but positivity in terms of collectors meeting other collectors. It was thrilled to hear that if so many people, you know, like when I started asking a couple of weeks ago, it was the Hangout episode 2 weeks ago, so it was the episode right before Carl's show and tell. And we had a little bit of the LA Fire talk, and then the Neil Gaiman talk, and the OAX talk. And to hear people, you know, when I'm asking, you know, what would you say was the one favorite thing, if there is one, that stood above all else? And to a man, everybody so far has been saying, you know, getting to meet all the other guys and hanging out with the other guys. You know, I love that, you know, because you know me, like I'm always preaching that, and that's really what I care about, and not so much the collecting anymore. So that was really great. And I wonder from you guys who enjoyed meeting all these people that you already knew, obviously from online for the most part. Did any of you, if you're willing to admit, did any of you feel like nervous in any way? Like, because it's I don't know, maybe it becomes real all of a sudden where you're used to maybe seeing people like as a name on screen or as a face even on screen, and somehow you're standing a few feet away from them, and I don't know. You ever feel that feeling of nervousness? Like, oh, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like you don't want to maybe go up to them. You're shy or something all of a sudden. Did that kind of feeling hit either?
No, the great iceberg is always like, yeah, that Ruben, jeez.
Thank God he's left.
That's good. Use me to get closer to each other. That's good. That's all right. You know,
there was a moment of nervousness, but not because of the meetings. And this may be unique amongst this chat because I didn't see any of you guys there. But there was a Magic the Gathering kind of onboarding night for art collectors as well as comic card art collectors. And Steve, who was generous enough to open up his penthouse to host that event, we went up there early to get set up, and we're waiting for folks to show up after the auction, but the auction extended for about an hour. So Steve and I decided to start playing some games, and he's like, well, "Why don't we just play some OG Magic Alpha games?" I was like, "Oh, okay." And he busts out this like treasure chest, and he had like 5 decks of alpha cards with power 9s. And so he hands me one deck, and he said, "Oh yeah, you need your power 9." And he hands me the power 9s. And at one point, someone throws out there, "Man, what's that deck worth?" And someone else said, "Oh, at least $500,000." And I was like, "What the heck?" And
It's
so
like the equivalent, the comic equivalent is like having a book club with original AF-15.
yes, exactly.
Sitting around like reading.
and reading it, right? And so we're playing like old school, dropping the cards, and like I'm dropping like a $20,000 card on top of his card, his like $30,000 card. And it was just crazy. So that was like a moment of nervousness that, you know, amongst whispers, "Oh, Carl wants whatever." I mean, I wasn't super nervous, but because Steve was so chill about it. But
you kept your drink on a different. But you kept your drink on a different table, just so you wouldn't knock it over there. You know.
Oh, I was dehydrated for sure.
I was so nervous about it happening. I didn't even go.
Dehydrated.
I watched that video on your show, Carl.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
There he is.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, Alberto.
What's up, folks?
It's my airport buddy.
¿Qué pasa, tío?
You evened out the Brady Bunch squares. I feel
Exactly. It was bothering me just before.
Really?
That's why when I realized after Carl had come in, I really hate that. I really kind of did plan it hoping to get it an even number. Because it's so much more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. And then when Carl came in, it's like, okay, I'm not going to refuse him just because of the aesthetics. But then when I realized, Tom wants Alberto to come on, and if he's willing, sure, I could even it out with 8 now. So perfect, yeah.
So essentially, you're admitting to Alberto that he's a space filler.
I'm sorry, but like already, Cavi said that I was quite not as cool as Bill J. or any of
I
those
said you were
guys.
cooler, man. I said you were even better.
He's like a seat holder at the Academy Awards.
All right, you gotta go. Hanks is here.
Hey, Lee, I'd like to hear from you because remind me, I think you didn't. Did you not go last year to OAX?
I didn't go last year.
You didn't go. Okay,
This is
that's
my
what I
first
thought.
year going. So all these guys, I got to meet them for the very first time. So that was really cool. And you don't know what to expect because, you're just talking online with them, chatting and stuff like that. But I really had a great time hanging out with them. But at the same time, I still did my collector thing, like I'm sure everybody did, like where, you got your own interest still. So you go to certain tables, you just, you talk for a few minutes and you're like, oh, I got to go over there. I got to see what's over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you chat with the artists, which is great. So I love the overall experience. I loved everything about it.
I thought the special galleries were a really entertaining and valuable part of my experience there. Like, I obviously had to miss the show the first time around because of what happened to me and everything. So I don't know what the gallery situation was like last time around, but I'm told that this one was like a significantly larger, like other rooms with stuff to do in them. This
Right.
time.
It was better planned out, I thought, and maybe better curated so that you kind of could see different stuff, like with what do they call it? Collections in Black. I thought that was well done.
Korshak.
That's
Great job with that.
that Khalil was helping to put that together, correct?
Khalil and Big Phil.
Big Phil.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Khalil's
galleries
gonna be
were better promoted as well.
Just FYI,
Yeah, right, Carl.
for anybody who knows Khalil is also going to be doing a show and tell with me soon, finally, after like so many years. Show and tell 69, February 23rd, so in a couple of weeks. Sorry. Continue, yeah.
Yeah, it was well promoted because last year, I don't think I found out about the special galleries till like Sunday afternoon. And I literally just rolled by for like an hour really quickly.
But you were kind of set up in a way also, right,
This
Carl?
year, right? Yeah, this year we're set up and it was cool. Like I got to see a few of you guys. Hydra and Lee came by. I think you came by Coffee a couple times, but I felt like
you've seen me enough. I've seen you
in a
like
weird
17
way.
times.
I ran a car later and did our selfie, but I felt like by setting up, it's a plus and minus. I thought it was cool to have a place to put portfolios and then kind of flip through it. But then I felt like I always was either getting called back to the booth or having to kind of like think about the booth. So there, and then the year before, I had my portfolio on me on my back the whole time, and so I felt like there was nowhere to put it down. So I got to find a balance, because I thought, being at the booth, I should make a bunch of plans, which I did, but because I made a bunch of plans going into it, I didn't get to like hang out with a lot of guys as much, because I wasn't like free flowing, bouncing around. So definitely lots of lessons learned, and I think I've got optimized for year 3.
Yeah, it's tough. It's always tough, right? Like when you're trying to do double duty, if you like it's tough. Yeah, it makes it tougher to be able to just hang and Sorry, go ahead.
Next year, I want to make sure I get there a day ahead of time, because I got there on Friday and I got there like 1 hour after the dinner had already started. So I was kind of, we were talking about, going up to people, and I pretty much had to do that because I'm like, I'm hungry. I got to eat dinner. I grabbed a plate. I went over to a table and I saw Rick Welch and Ian Saint was sitting at that table, and a couple other people. And I was like, I can't.
Wait, did you just say Rick Welch?
Mm-hmm. Rick was there. Yeah.
Yeah. Rick Welch.
Rickster, he traveled, really? Rick was there.
You were there, Ruben. You were there too.
But I didn't see him. That's the thing, like that, and that's what I was gonna say to you, Lee. Like Marcus and I, what we did, we go in Thursday night. Somebody,
Oh no, it wasn't Rick. It wasn't Rick Welch. It was Rick Verbanis.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick Verbanis. I'm sorry. Yeah. Rick Verbanis.
He knew that Alberto was there, and they had to.
Sorry, Rick. We're confusing Rick. Sorry.
Yep, I'm confusing Rick.
You're seeing. Now you should have just said that Captain America guy.
It was the Captain America guy. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. Okay. No, Rick. Well, I would have known. He would have mentioned it. Rick never mentioned it. So, exactly. There you go.
Sorry about that, Rick Welch. Because I'm sure he's in the chat too, right?
He just said.
There he is. Not me. Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, Rick. But I feel like I know Rick Welch good because of the fact that he just participates so much between this show and when I make my videos, he comments all the time, and so I guess he's on my mind more.
All right. And Alberto, tell us a little bit from your. I haven't talked to you about your experience. And by the way, are you like Lee, where you didn't go last year? I think.
No, I went last year and I went again this year. I actually went there the Saturday before with my fiance. We did the parks and all of that stuff. And checked into the hotel on Wednesday night and hung out on Thursday. And it was amazing the amount of people that on Thursday morning were already there checking in, portfolios in the lobby, and
Anthony already had
was doing business at the bar already. Anthony had his full display at the bar at the hotel, selling business, and it felt like really the show was ready to start on Thursday night already.
What was your if you had to choose? Like I've asked everybody already. What if you had to choose one thing? What did you feel was your favorite part of the entire experience?
Just hanging out with people. I mean, yes, the art is great, but I feel like most of my purchases I had prearranged already, so there was nothing really that was a surprise. I was just there to pick it up and save on shipping or whatever, but it was really a chance to meet everybody, right? Everybody here that's on camera, plus just getting to meet unfortunately not you or Marcus, but hopefully for next year you guys will be there.
I don't know if we'll be back. It's off, right?
He's like, everybody has a sense of community, and they're like, everybody ignored me.
I mean, at the very least, we can make an extra stop at Kinko's for
they were dressed up as Barucci, dressed as Flash. So multi-layers of zippers.
I mean, there's already a cutout for Marcus and one for Nick, so I guess we just need one for Ruben now.
Exactly.
But no, that's fun, and you obviously ended up picking up the pickup of the show. That it has to be what Felix podcast was talking about. There must be those Ulan Abrera pieces that you picked up.
I've started the whole Ulan thread. I know Josh had a piece from already last year that got posted on it, but I posted the first one, and he felt forced to post his 2 pieces last night. So.
Yeah,
it was the market, man.
Yeah, but Cobby, you were mentioning about the extra rooms, with those extra art shows to see. I thought that was pretty cool too. If I'm not mistaken, Carl, did you not mention when you and I were talking privately? Did you not mention? Was it you who had said to me that you kind of felt you didn't like the way that they had separated those extra the art in those extra rooms, and you kind of felt maybe dealers and artists should be in one room and everything else in another? Is that
which Carl?
Which Carl?
You sorry, yeah. Sodergren.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I was like, because I was like, did I say that?
Oh, yeah,
Carl too.
No, I mean, I thought one thing I have to admit, I actually didn't even go into the special galleries. Like,
oh no,
I know, like I just
Shame on you.
I know. But like it was one of those things afterwards, like I should have done that. I spent a lot of time on the show floor just walking around and just talking and having a good time. So yeah, I think it was fine the way that they had it set up.
I think that there's a version of the floor plan that is potentially possible where you can get those other people into the you can squeeze things down a little bit and get everybody into one room. But personally for me, I liked the reason to leave the main show floor because there was way more buying temptation for me in the main show floor than there was in like the other rooms. For me was more about appreciating what was there on display. And I was like taking in like these Julie Bell paintings from the 90s or a Frazetta, or whatever, whatever I was looking at and actually kind of like breathing that stuff in or listening to somebody's like, Khalil explain to me the history behind,
cool.
The first appearance of Robbie Robertson and all these like cool pieces of history. So like I spent more time in there to like alleviate my temptation in a way, if that makes any sense. So
but of course, they're easy to miss though, right? I mean, because if you didn't know about those special galleries, you just kind of had to go through the main door, go all the way to the left and make it there while everything else was on the right side. So
yeah, but I'm used to going to shows like New York Comic Con where you have to navigate Javits Center, and like that is an absolute bitch to do. And it compared to those kind of experience, this was a cakewalk. And I'm dealing with like one good leg, and I was fine navigating OAX, but with my one good leg, like I was being tortured at New York Comic Con.
You were a trooper, man. You were like you were doing it. I was surprised.
It was fun. It was like even for someone who's like a little bit not at 100%, like I thought it was a decent layout.
One I think would be nice to have would be like a lounge that we could like put our folders.
There was a collector's lounge, but I didn't find that easily navigatable.
Yeah,
that
it wasn't super accessible.
That's like the one aspect of the show.
The auction room you could use as a collector's lounge, and there were some people there throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
There's one guy there that had his portfolio out, and I felt real bad for him. He had some nice stuff in there, but he was essentially selling his collection, or at least what was available in that portfolio, because he was getting a divorce. I was like, oh, that's sad.
Oh, really?
That sucks.
Yeah.
You mean he went there to look for people to sell his collection to?
Yeah, he was pretty much in that auction room most of the show. And on the last day, I saw him move into the main room, and he had one of those little stand-up tables where he had his portfolio set up.
Yeah,
but they were very
that's
small.
the guy.
Yeah.
Did you happen to catch his name?
I didn't. I don't remember. I mean, he might have told me his name, and I just forgot.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. Wow. He would tell people that's what he was there for.
Yeah, some pieces that he had in there. I remember actually, I was following them at like the last Comic Art Live. I was like, oh yeah, I was following that piece. And he had fairly, Ivan Reis Superman covers, stuff like that. But and they were good prices. But I had already had my mind set on other things. So.
Right. Mr. Choi, can you please answer Antoine? He's asking you if the painting behind you is a Hildebrandt.
It is a Hildebrandt. It's actually from, if you look at my calf, it's one of the ones that's in my gallery. That's a miscellaneous art on wall, and it's the Darkness number 11 cover.
Nice. There you go.
Stingray, I think, put that info in the chat.
Oh yeah, there we go. Stingray answered it already.
Stingray's on top of it.
Good guy.
Well, speaking of Hildebrandt, that memorial section had some pretty epic,
Oh,
mind-blowing pieces.
Super cool.
It was a crazy.
Was it so? Did you enjoy that? I mean, you said you liked having those extra rooms. Did you really like that a lot? Like, what was your favorite part of those extra rooms, Kavi?
Probably the special gallery rooms that included the Korshak collection, the collections in black, and a few others, but also just the main IAX gallery area. There was this guy Marcus Rohrwild who had all these like European sci-fi pulp like paintings and covers. I loved the stuff he had. He had a Frazetta and a Ken Kelly. Like he had pretty crazy fantasy and sci-fi pulp kind of stuff.
That was cool
as well. And the Julie Bell display, the Columbo display was really great. Like I probably was in those rooms 4 to 5 times throughout my my 2 days at the actual show. It felt like a 4-day show though. Like I'll just keep reiterating that because of what time I arrived on Thursday. By the time the show started, I was already like exhausted.
Yeah.
So
I walked into the card art part of it, and I don't know anything about cards. I'd never collected cards. I don't know anything about the art and cards. So I walked in there and I just kind of felt a little bit fish out of the water. And then I walked into the card art gallery where Steve was with his collection on the wall, and I was like, oh, wow, this is this is just really cool. So that was kind of neat that they had
like all the Juscos and the Julie Bell Iron Man card and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was like a sort of the history of Marvel masterpieces, I believe, is how they were doing it. Where it's like from the Jusco 92, 93 series. And then as you went along the wall, it appears to be, the later series, examples from all the later series that come. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty neat. Yeah. That's pretty
I guess chronologically, as it was left to right. But of course, when you come in from the right. So then I didn't even realize that till the end. I'm like, oh, these are the ones from 93. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Stanley wants to know, Kavi, did you do the pub crawl?
I guess you could say I did the latter half of the pub crawl. I didn't do the beginning half, and so I didn't get a T-shirt. But I didn't really care about a T-shirt. I would say I did most of my drinking at Miller's the whole time, which was, I guess, part of the pub crawl, but like the end part. I feel like they like set it up in a weird way where you had to like walk all the way this direction to go to one place, then walk all the way this direction to go to another place, and then what I was like, couldn't there have been a better like order of those buildings to tackle? It was
Jason did the pub crawl.
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently in Rob's mind, as we were coming back, so it started at Hooters, which was the furthest. It was supposed to hit Miller's, then go to the hotel bar, and I think there was an understanding that the hotel bar was going to stay open later, but they closed at like 11:30 that night, so there was no opening. So then it just camped out at Miller's.
It just ended up being at Miller's anyway. So,
which is where you'll find 80% of the collectors, I think, that are at the show on any given day.
You got to get those zingers, baby. They're tasty as hell.
So I went back to Miller's and I got my T-shirt.
He had to get that T-shirt.
He gave it to me. I didn't actually go there specifically to get it, but I was like, everybody was still there.
I forgot to buy myself. I meant to buy myself an actual OAX shirt from like the merch area. I completely forgot to do that.
Me too.
Totally forgot to do that. I didn't really focus on like the clothing and the swag. I meant to, but it just slipped my mind. Like I think the only shirt I came back with was an Ian Saint shirt that Ian Saint gave me. I think he gave a few people a shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ian gave you a shirt. What kind of shirt?
It's like this like colorful. It's not really tie dye, but it's like.
Oh,
like
I saw that. Yeah,
this very colorful shirt. It says Ian Saint comic art or something on it.
Oh, so it's kind of his own self-promotional thing.
It's his Facebook.
He was just giving it away. I don't think he's selling them. But he's
no. But I mean, it's his own self-promotional thing with his name on it.
It's his own shirt. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wait,
funny.
his comic art fans image. That's what I think it is. Yeah, his comic art fans image is this big swirly, colorful thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was just his laundry, Kavi. He was just giving you his laundry.
Right.
Look at Mike. Mike's asking, Ian has merch, and that's a
Well, other
pretty.
people were there. Got it. Yeah, Tom got one. Like I know he gave them out to a few people. There you go.
Yeah. So Manic, there was a new Manic shirt, the Ian shirt.
Yeah,
So
I wanted that Manic shirt too. I just didn't remember to get any of these other shirts, and the only thing I remember is because Ian literally placed it in my hand at some point. You know.
There's a man.
Look at everybody's claiming they got one from Ian. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl showing the Manic shirt. So is that something that people are giving out, or you have to buy that?
You had to buy it. It was really nice.
Cool. The Manic's one you had to buy.
Josh
and the OAX one you had to buy, right?
Yeah, Josh made the Mannix one and a bunch of people pre-ordered them, and then he had some leftover ones.
Yeah. Oh, that's the only shirt I came home with. That one.
I'll wear it for the rest of the hangout.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so that would lead us to the next natural part of this conversation is for a question to all of you, because I was only there to meet people, but for the rest of you, I picked up nothing. Anybody want to talk about the art that you may have picked up? Like, you don't have to tell that. Like those, okay. Let's start with those of you who don't have your own, who haven't done like a video on your own channel or whatever.
No, I'm going to spend an hour talking about the art I picked up right now.
Exactly. That sounds like something you should do. Maybe you record it or something as well.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, anybody who wants to talk about, did you score in terms of like artwork? Did you pick stuff up? Did you not really pick much up? Or I don't know. Anybody could take that one.
I think just the one piece that I got from George Pratt was a big score. So I
that was killer,
and I was very happy about that.
Lee, was that your only piece?
No.
Oh no! I mean, I actually commissioned a few pieces, and there's one I'm still waiting on because it's from Jay Lee, and I sent him an email this morning. Oh, Jay, how's that commission going? Because he was sick and he wound up not showing up.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's not an issue or anything. But
didn't you get Planet of the Apes piece too, Lee?
I did. I didn't post that yet. So from Paulo. Paulo Rivera, I got a cover, and I have to still post that.
Nice.
But
is the Caesar
I did
one?
that at the end on the Sunday. On Sunday, I got one of the covers that him and his dad worked on. I talked to him about his dad a little bit, and I expressed how sorry I was on his passing and everything. And I was like, and it's one of the, that's in my wheelhouse. Like we talk about, Carl. It's a Planet of the Apes item. So,
yeah, I got excited. I was like, you did? Was it one of the Ursus covers or one of the?
It was. So you have Ursus 1, right? So I have Ursus issue. I think it's. No, actually, it might be the third issue. The cover.
I've been, yeah, I know. Yeah, we can talk about it. But I've been eyeing those for years, so I'm glad you got one. They're awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
Lee, congrats on that Pratt piece because I saw that was awesome. I was like, holy shit, right? And oh my god, that's like that may be the favorite thing I saw. And then, not to burst your bubble, but it's very complimentary. I then saw a quick. I guess it was on one of the videos on YouTube that I saw. I saw very quickly. It might have been Carl. What is it? Yours? Where I saw Peter Rowe.
Peter Rowe. Yeah. He has another one.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He also. Oh my god. That was awesome.
So cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing if he posts it on CAF. I haven't seen it yet, but holy shit! I was hoping he was going to be here today because I would have invited him on and have him show us.
So Peter was waiting to post that. So me and Peter, we showed each other our two enemy ace images, and we're like, okay, we don't want to post them at the same time because we think both of these are liable to be, like thrown up on CAF in the daily thing or whatever. And he goes, okay, well, you post yours first. I said, okay, and then you can post yours the next week or whatever.
I like that. You're in cahoots to space out your George Pratt enemy ace commissions. I love it.
And George was one of the main reasons why I went to this show again, because I saw he was coming again, because I was kind of bummed I missed it last year, because a lot of the artists that were there last year, I would have really loved to have seen. Those are some of the guys who, the 70s, 80s, 90s art, and I was a little more gravitated towards that, but I'm like, when George Pratt came back, I'm like, you know what, I'll just go because of George, and they had some good people on there, so I took advantage of it.
The answer is yes, CJ. Very sick. Very sick. Okay. Hyder, what did you? First of all, how many pieces did you pick up? I'm curious if you got anything that was really special, and you're on mute, by the way.
You're on mute.
So I got 3 pieces. This has been floating around for a few years, so I'm gonna pick that one.
Hold on. Let me put you here so that I can give you the.
Oh yeah, I saw that at the show. Nice.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, who is that? Dominguez?
Kubert. Joe Kubert.
Oh, that's a Cuban one? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's been floating around for five years or so. So I finally bit the bullet and bought it when it came up again.
It was what for 5 years?
It was floating around. It was first on the comic, the Metropolis website, and then it was in 2 auctions, and I finally bought it from Berkey. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna miss it again.
Oh, okay. Oh, very cool, very cool. And it's not the only thing you picked up, though, right?
No, just some. I picked up one a title page and one British Planet of the Apes title page as well.
Okay.
Did you get that? Did you get that Grundy page there, or was that before?
No, that I bought it a few years back. That's just been waiting to be scanned. So I don't have everything up on the calf. Just sort of like
that was a cool page to see in person, though. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's the Grundy page I've had for a while, and I forgot. I was talking with Jason that Finn had bought was it a Vage page, or no, it was a Bissett Swamp Thing page, right? So that's one of my things. Like, I should maybe throw that up on the calf.
Yeah, Antoine makes a great point. I'm surprised that they don't even. It doesn't seem like they've thought of this, but next year someone needs to have a booth selling those protective sleeves, and that's true. Like, you should have that at every convention. Because there's always people walking around who buying art, and then they'll walk up like at regular conventions, right? Like, they'll go up to random booths. Hey, do you by any chance have a bag or anything I could put this? And I'm surprised that every con does not have one of those.
Did none of the dealers have like extra portfolios to sell, like Anthony or anything? I didn't really ask around for like.
I mean, but most
people have supplies for sale.
No, but most dealers do not go around dealing in the supplies as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but do you really take up a little bit of floor space for that as opposed to another vendor, like artist vendor, or like most people are going semi prepared to very prepared for this kind of a show,
Yeah, but
if you can have a fan booth where you take photos, you can find a table for somebody selling supplies.
Sure, right. It doesn't even have to be in the show floor; it could be in outside.
No, but there's a lot of floor space for the amount of people that are there. It's very, very spacious. So I don't see at all that there would be a problem to have one extra booth just for somebody with supplies, for sure, in the same room.
It's helpful if you catch yourself off guard and you buy a piece that's bigger than the folio you brought.
I personally, I would, if they're going to put anything else in the main room, it'd be something else to look at, some other art to look at. There's a lot of room in there, but I don't think I would, because most of us have things to put things in. I don't know that I would want to see any other stuff on the show floor taking up that space. I don't know. I mean, especially when you have so many other rooms that could, it could be in.
Yeah. I think most, again, have it packaged as well. There's a few that didn't, and obviously if you buy from the brothers or from any of the artists, they probably don't have it in sleeves. But most of the stuff that I saw was protected so you could flip through it easily.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't find too many casuals. I know that there are certain examples out there on videos of people documenting who are casuals or newbies, but I would say that was like less than 10 out of the 900 people attending.
Yeah. I think
I saw a couple of them. They were locals. They just happened to stop in, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we just found this."
That were brought maybe and stuff like that. But
I think that's an image they want to cultivate, which makes sense. But for the large part, it was the season's kind of collectors over there. Us.
Yeah.
Jason, sickos.
I just wanted to know, do you have anything of what you mentioned, the pre-show stuff that you did. Do you have anything you can are you willing to show us, or? I mean, you don't have to if you're saving it for like calf reveal or whatever,
No. So I don't know. This is a big.
Oh, is that a pen?
It's burned pencils from his Elfsman.
Yeah, from the
Oh,
Elfsman.
nice.
Pencils are hard on live camera.
Yeah, it's a really big piece.
Yeah, is it because it's a double page? Is it a double page splash to the story?
It's a double page splash on one board, and then what was actually used was sort of this image that he reworked on digitally on Photoshop and put it on his website. But I liked it because it's got the Imperial Guard and X-Men fighting, and so that was the thing that caught me off guard because Jim had it in a big folio, and I didn't have a folio big enough to accommodate that. So I had to have Jim drive it back home and then ship it to me once he got home. But
wait for that. That's horrible. I had it in my.
Yeah, I had it in my hands, but I still had to pay shipping. Yeah,
I actually did there's a guy that is a collector that lives maybe like 5 minutes from me, and I'd seen him a couple local shows. He actually bought one of those Elsewhen's pages, and I have it in my portfolio. I still need to deliver it to him. He came up to me and said, "Hey, can you take this home with you, and then we'll meet up after the show?" So yeah,
meet up afterwards. Yeah.
So, but
And then,
and suddenly Carl lost his number.
the crazy thing is, we were supposed to arrange a time yesterday, and then I completely forgot about it. So, dude was probably like, "What the hell, man?"
Oops.
Did I tell you about my kitchen counters? Yeah.
What Jason's trying to show something on there? Yeah.
Oh, and then so it's not flashy, but this is the last page from Byrne on Wolverine.
Well, it's very it's very flashy because you left it in the Mylar.
Well, that's that too. But I just like the ending of the story. It's the former Nazi getting his when he meets Magneto.
Oh,
and so
That's
more.
cool.
It was more for the story than for the art. But
okay. Still, that's cool.
Lots of dialogue on there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to answer Evgeny's question here. What's everyone's main attraction when it comes to collecting? Is it character specific? I mean, I think, let me just quickly, you guys can chime in after if you want. I will just to answer quickly, Evgeny, I would say if you're a commission collector, it's typically characters. If you're a published art collector, it's any combination of characters, titles, stories, combination of story and characters, time frame. In other words, what era? Maybe you're into 70s stuff. Most guys who buy stuff for nostalgic reasons will buy the stuff from the time period when they were kids. So yeah, I don't know. Anybody else have anything to add? I think that's pretty much accurate.
Well, I only collect art that was drawn on Tuesday.
You're a pretty specific collector there, Jason.
I know a lot of Valiant collectors are collecting because of the stories, because that's kind of like back in the day. Like if you love art, you went to Image. If you love story, you went to Valiant. And so everyone who loves Valiant art typically because we read it and we connected with the story.
Stanley wants to know: did anybody see any cool art books at OAX? Like, was there was there somebody selling that kind of stuff by any chance? Like any kind of like a book deal?
Chris K was selling those Carol Day books.
What's up, Tom?
Yeah, that's true.
And some artists had sketch. You want to consider that as art books, but I know Aranga had a sketchbook. Other few artists had their own sketchbooks that they offered.
Right.
But.
Yeah, but that's standard because that's self-promotional for an artist, right? So, yeah. That makes total sense. Alberto, do you want to? Is there anything you have within reach that you want to share with us?
I do. I posted most of my main CAF pieces on CAF. I've been posting about once a day for the last 10 days, I think.
Oh, I know. I know. I've been leaving comments, so I know.
I've been trying to make sure that I don't do a big art dump just for you, Ruben. But
I noticed. Yeah, one per day. That's good. That's because that still feels pretty hefty. So, yeah, no, that's good. At least it's not
yeah,
overwhelming.
here's a lot of the pieces that I picked up. I know I've put this on CAF already. Got a couple pieces from CAP 176.
Okay.
This one
And was that
showing the.
Was that because they were available, or is 176 a particularly memorable issue for you?
Anthony used to have, I don't know if the whole story or a big chunk of pages that he made available a couple of months ago. And it took me a while to negotiate something with him that I was comfortable dealing with. And I ended up getting those 3 pages from him for pickup at OAX.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I've got, and I think some folks might have seen it. I got also some good pre-OAX commissions. This was done by Josh Cassara.
Oh yeah, that was a nice one.
That one was awesome.
Yeah.
At the show.
That was really great, actually. Yeah.
I don't know if he tells that to everybody, but he said it was his and his wife's favorite pre-OAX commission that he did. So I'll take it. I got a little bit of everything. Ian Saint gave me a very thoughtful. He meant to give this to me for Christmas. It's a Captain America page in the tribute from Meech Brightweiser. Supposed to be kind of Christmas themed, but it has a little panel there of Cap and Bucky.
That was a gift?
Yeah, that was a gift from Mr. Saint. So I got a t-shirt and a page from him.
Okay. That's
but
cool.
yeah, I got way too much stuff. My Marco Rudy commission that I think a lot of folks have seen as well. He was doing
metal,
some.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's the one I said. Let there be blood. There will be blood or something.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
I
crazy.
said it was a patriotic metal band album cover, basically.
Alberto wanted to get a little the card art sketch from him too, but he said, "Oh, he already got his Captain America art from him."
Yeah, I've got some random stuff that probably Ruben you would have never guessed from me. I got a Betty and Veronica cover by Sanya Anwar on Tatiana's team.
Oh, that's from the more realistic looking, the adult Archie stuff type of thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me actually, Alberto, because you've had, I in fact I'm the one who tells people when I have private conversations, I'm like, I use you as an example of somebody who everybody thinks of you, the Cap guy, right? But that's why when we did our show and tell, I didn't want to do 20 pieces of Captain America art because a lot of people, they're so used to thinking of you as the Cap guy that they just forget you actually have a lot more stuff in your collection that's not Cap, So you are more well-rounded. It's just that you focus on Cap, but it doesn't mean it's all you have, right? So I'm not surprised you bought that.
And I'll do my last but not least, and this is actually one of my favorite pieces. You know that I love Sawi. I've posted a few Sawi covers on my Cap gallery. She just did this one for the X-Men.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's cool.
And she had that available on Jiggy's booth. So have a couple more pieces by her as well, but I thought that was stunning and more to come. I still have about 2 weeks worth of daily art to post from my OAX pickups and some mystery sketches that I had to pick up that had not been finished in time from the Comic Art Live show and things like that. So
nice. And Marcus keeps saying, he's telling you, screaming at you to say, "Show us the unicorn piece."
My Ulan piece, I think, is right here. It's not a unicorn, but this was the piece by Mannix's daughter.
That's cute. That's cute.
So you're gonna have Barucci make that a cover too?
Hey, and she's already selling her art, man. There's people giving her $5 a throw on those.
I remember was it Josh last year who bought a piece from her?
Yeah.
I saw her.
Josh got a unicorn piece last year, and he picked up another piece this year.
I remember last year seeing her drawing on the floor, and I was like, "Oh, man, that's awesome."
But that's all fun stuff, man. Derek says that you're the #1 Sawi fan. Would you take that crown?
According to Jiggy, I am, but I have to say she's been becoming more and more popular. Prices have been going up, and people are reaching out to Jiggy much faster than they used to when her art is announced, when she posts it. So it's becoming harder, that's for sure.
It's harder. Harder for what? To acquire her art?
Harder to acquire her art at reasonable prices and before it gets snatched by other collectors.
Okay. Now, are we talking about Sawi or Ulan?
Both, actually. Sawi for sure. Ulan, I think, is going to start picking up soon. There was not a single piece on CAF as of last night, and now there's 3. So it's definitely multiplying exponentially.
Jiggy's gonna need more room next year. She's gonna.
I thought Lance was the rep. I thought Lance got rights.
Lance is the rep for the time being. He took the lead before Jiggy was able to get to Ulan. So
man, it's a cutthroat business.
Look at this musical chair thing.
What's happening now?
Anybody else have anything within reach that they would like to maybe show and share it with us?
I mean, within reach. Hold on. My Mannix. I think my Mannix sketch card was free, and it's probably gonna end up being my most popular post from the show. It's got 35 likes and like 26 comments.
Nice.
And it was free.
Nice.
So,
throw it up. See if you can put it closer to the camera, because with your background, it's kind of.
I'll remove the background.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, we don't want to get rid of your mission place, you know. Yeah.
That's
this is the Miko Swyon one.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, but I started posting a calf. I started posting a calf a couple of days ago. I'll probably get through the rest of my pickups like this week on calf if I do one per day.
And you know
I didn't buy a lot. I bought like 4 things. I bought an animation cell from Cowboy Bebop from Jeff Singh, which has been on my list for a long time to get a cell. That's my favorite anime. I bought a couple Star Wars pages from Brian Thies. I picked up some Swamp Thing art and some Daredevil Elektra art, but then I also got several, free sketches. Ian Saint hooked me up with a free Clone Troopers Star Wars piece. There's a very funny inside story between me, Jeff Wedding, and Daryl R about a piece at the charity auction that 2 of us ended up owning over the course of the weekend, and I ended up coming home with it. So I'll have fun explaining that story in my calf post. But yeah, I didn't do a ton of buying. I think I had like 4 or 5 free pieces and 4 or 5, paid pieces or so. And that was it.
Okay.
And just a quick plug, Ruben, just so everybody knows, Mannix is going to be doing a sketch card of Superman for Jack and Tom show to help Officer Roscoe in there. So we'll have that next Friday on Nick's show. We're going to pick it up on Friday.
You mean this coming Friday on 5 days from now? Okay.
Yeah, on the fundraiser for that Tom and Jeff are setting up. So
yes,
please bid.
Yes. Yes.
And all the money will be going to Officer Roscoe's family. So if you're interested in a Mannix and you see the amazing stuff that Mannix can do for free in 5 minutes that Cavi just showed, tune in and bid and help the cause.
Excellent.
Yeah, I donated something. I might donate another thing also. It should be good. It should be a good show.
That's cool. Yeah, it should be a fun show for sure. Yeah, I think it'll be a lot of people there too. So it'll be probably a heavier crowd than normal, I would think. So that'll be fun, and hopefully at the same time fun and helpful to his family. And poor guy was, I think, 46 years old only. I mean, that's crazy.
Young.
So yeah,
that is so crazy when it brings reality to the forefront all of a sudden.
Mortality.
How quickly it can change, right? So, okay, let me put you back here. Let's put us.
So we're at the 35-minute warning, just so you know, Ruben. So that's where we are time wise.
Yeah, thank you. That's the absolute latest stop
time.
And of course, some people will Carl at the top.
I know, but now we're like back to symmetry here. Now I can't leave. I'm supposed to have to stay here now. So.
Oh, by the way, thanks for all the followers. We bumped like 6 followers since we came on, so I really appreciate you guys for
cool
the campaign. Super helpful.
And I wanted to say, didn't want to forget you, Dan, if you're still there. Sometimes I forget to post pieces because Ruben will think it's an art dump, and Ruben doesn't even follow me. I just want you to know, because I already spend way too much time every night leaving comments. I don't even look at the art anymore that's posted every day. The only thing I look at is the updates from everybody I follow already. And so if you want me to follow you,
there's a price.
You have to come on. You have to come on as a guest on my show, because once people do that, then I start following. And that's the only way I can keep sort of some measure of control over how much more time in my day I need to keep spending leaving comments, So
that's fair.
Come on, Ruben. If Marcus can do it, you can do it. You can spend more time posting comments.
Hey, Marcus is Marcus. You can't compare nobody to Marcus, right? Like, I don't know how the hell he does it. Nobody knows. Whatever. He's talk about unicorn. He's the unicorn, right? So yeah, he's magic. You don't compare it to him. I remember a few years back when Bill had released some data on the commenting, and like I think I was, I don't know, second or third or fourth most commenter of the year or some shit, and like compared to Marcus, it was a tiny fraction of what he had put out.
Yeah, you were second in 2024. Marcus,
yeah, you see the numbers this past week. You were still
second in 2024, apparently. So
who was second?
You were, but Marcus was first, and the difference was 23,000 comments or something. The difference.
Yeah.
I came in second, and how few did I get?
You had like 3,000 something, and he had like 27.
20. You see what I'm saying? Holy shit, man! Oh my god, that's whatever. Like you can't compare it to him.
I was curious to see if that list could be like published for all of us to see, because I'm curious where I am on it, because I think I had like 3,000 something comments this year on art. Since I was injured most of the year, I had way more time to comment on people's art. I made an effort more so this year than any other year in the past to leave comments for people, just because I had so much downtime just like lying there while my foot healed. So yeah.
But Marcus's comments aren't even like that short, or he's like that. Sometimes he'll write like a whole haiku for your
I know.
piece,
full long parodies.
Hey, by the way, Dan, I don't know if you like. I don't see you commenting other than laughing. I don't know if that laughter means that you're willing to come onto the show or not, but like, let me know so I can reach out. Otherwise, yeah, man, I don't know.
Enjoy the non-comments.
Yeah, exactly. Keep enjoying your non-comments. Exactly. That's all I can say. Thank you, Carl. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. That's about it. I mean, that's that says it all. Ruben, don't follow me. I don't post art anymore. I do follow you. You just don't post art anymore. Well, rarely. No, you post once in a while, just not super often.
You can't buy anything. He's too busy commenting on art.
That's right. That's it. I mean, how else do you do it? That's his full-time job, apparently. He figured out a way to get somebody to pay him. He designed an algorithm or something that somehow made him get paid for leaving all those comments. It must be. I don't know how else you do it. That's pretty. Yeah, he's the GOAT for sure.
It's like I said, when I saw him at OAX, he didn't talk to me because he was just nosing his phone, making comments all day on CAF. I was like, come on.
Now that there's an app, it's like he can't get away from it everywhere he is.
Well, Rodney, I'm pretty sure I just left you comments this past week or two, didn't I? I'm pretty sure. And if I didn't, you already know why. Now you know what you got to do in order for me to start commenting if I haven't started commenting on you yet. It's a measure of control, baby. Marcus has a harem of Russian brides that she's trained to make comments on his behalf. That could be it. Who the hell knows? First person must like images for a living. The first place person must like images for a living. Yeah, you heard. Who was? Do you remember, Kavi? A third, fourth?
Nick was third because he leaves nice.
Because he just does nice.
Nice.
Exactly.
I mean, no offense. I'd rather get that than just the like, personally, because it adds a comment to your artwork total, like the total comment. So I appreciate that, honestly. But yeah, he was third. So I'm curious where I was, because I don't leave one-word comments, but I'm wondering where I am on the list.
Yeah, and let me just say, because you just mentioned that, Kavi, for those people who I do follow and then leave comments for, not only do I leave you a comment, but for the last several months, I have taken to liking and commenting, and I bring that up only because Kavi used to do that with me and other people. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to do what Kavi does. What the hell? Why not? Because when you first click the little thumbnail, right, to enlarge the image, I mean, the like button's right there. So you might as well just click it, click that first before you scroll down to do your commenting. So yeah, so I'm doing double duty, and I'm liking everybody who I leave comments for. I also hit your like button. You're still doing that, Kavi? Both?
Well, for everyone I follow regularly, I do that. Like for there's a lot more accounts out there that I can't follow and leave a comment on every single one. So for a lot of those, I will hit just the like button only, or whatever. But I'll throw comments every now and then on accounts I don't follow. Also, it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. I and since we're talking about this, let me just quickly throw out here, because we have, I'd love to call people out, as you guys know. Lee, if you could get into the habit, please, of when somebody leaves you comments, click the like button at the end of the comment. That would be awesome. I would love if you would do that, just because it acknowledges, it's a way to say both thank you for leaving a comment and acknowledging to that person that, I got your message. Thank you. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a good habit to get into. I just, you don't
I do it sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I forget. Yeah. I've done it before, but yeah, it's not one of those things.
Sometimes the website doesn't register that you clicked a button, though. I notice sometimes.
I notice that sometimes it doesn't stay. Like, so I've clicked it and then gone back.
Sometimes you click it and it just doesn't go through.
Yeah. And on when I look at CAF on my what do you call it, the Firefox, and this has been going on for like a year now. It's still going on. If I click at the top where you have your what is the symbol? One of them is a heart symbol, and the other one is the what? One is for to tell you your likes. The other one's to tell you your comments. Right? It tells you the notifications for how many comments, how many likes at the top left. And when I click either of those, and the drop down menu drops, it stays there. It doesn't go away when you click off anywhere else on the screen like it used to. And I have to refresh my browser just for the drop-down menu to go away. So really annoying. So sometimes that's why I try to
all
go
the CAF etiquette stuff, as we've talked about before, Ruben, could be an entire series of shows.
That's true too. Yeah.
So
just Marcus, exactly. What happened to him? I haven't seen him in a long time. Baller.
He's selling art all of a sudden. I noticed he took down all of his art from his personal collection and put up 3 sales posts last night. Foggy Bottom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Maybe he's unloading his whole collection. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know him, so I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Even Marcus says he's selling. I don't know to what degree, but yeah.
Ian, what if we don't have CAF Gallery? Can we still come on the show? I mean, it's just that I like to introduce collectors to each other, and I just find it's a nicer way to do it is by having them come on and doing a show and tell for the first time, because that's the show where I ask everybody to just tell us a little bit about how they got into comics when they were kids or when they were adults, whatever the case may be. And then how it led to them collecting original art, So then once they've done that, you know, the audience kind of knows you a little bit already. And so then it's nice to have you back on to do, you know, roundtable or hangout episodes or what have you. But Ian, if you're interested in coming on a future show like this, either a roundtable, this I guess I should have kind of done this as a marketed as a roundtable episode. But yeah, hang out or a roundtable, let me know. I'd be happy to have, yeah. The more new people that have never been on that would like to come on, yeah, I'm happy to have, you know, introduce more people and let people get to know you as more than just a name on a screen, you know.
But
So
Ruben,
yeah,
think of the benefit though. You get one more show out of it, but then no more comments that you have to post. So if he doesn't have a gallery, if he doesn't have a calf gallery, have the you get a show.
I don't have to add him.
Just say it.
That's true. That's true.
So, I noticed Scott had a suggestion, and just to answer that, there is actually a way to do that on the website. It's not very obvious, but if you go to resources, forums, and click, if you go into the resources tab and go to forums, the top link at the top of the list of forums is called Comic Art Comments. And it literally, you click through to that and you can see every piece of art that's being commented on in real time, and you can refresh it. Like literally every piece that has a comment on it is like listed in order there.
Jeez.
In that section. It's kind of crazy to navigate, but it does exist.
All right. Antoine's asking, he's been noticing a lot more non-art posts on CAF lately, stuff like signed books, prints, photos of fans with creators. And in his view, it degrades the user experience. Thoughts, anybody? I'll give you, since you tagged me on it, Antoine, I'll say I haven't noticed a preponderance of it. I do notice occasionally people will put, let's say, a signed print or a remarked print. I feel like if there's at least a remark, like some original art on it, I'm okay with it. If it's just, you know, signed books and print.
There's a whole category for remarked items as an art type, right? Like
oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, you can literally upload to a category called remarked items.
Right. So then it kind of, yeah. So the website kind of encourages remarks, and so you're going to see more prints because of that. Sure. I'd rather not see a bunch, Antoine, to be honest. But so far, I can't say that I've seen anything that's really been bothering me. And as far as the pictures, photos of the fans with creators, I'm okay because, you know, I'm naturally humanly curious. I'd like to know if I know the person and I've never seen them before, I like to know what they look like. So it puts a face to the name, you know? And so, yeah, I don't mind seeing photos.
Yeah, I would agree that putting signed books on there is kind of a stretch versus like remarks and things like that. Like, I feel, you know, like just a book that's signed would be kind of weird to me, but, you know, it doesn't bother me.
Bill just addressed this on the last Comic Art Live, I think.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that if it has a remark on it, then he'll consider art and he'll post it. That's but signed books, no signed books. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to include signed books. I actually started doing this thing where I have, and I just started recently. I have the artist take a picture with the piece of art, and then I post that as one of the additional images. And
that's what I do. I do that also. I love doing that.
Yeah, I personally don't mind pictures of fans with the creators. I mean, I think we all love the artists that do our art. I think this time of year, maybe it feels like there's more because their con season's kind of starting. You start having OAX, and a lot of people are taking pictures with the artists. You're going to see more as MegaCon comes in and Heroes comes in. But to me, they're ultimately the creators. They're the ones who are drawing all the art that we're all posting. So I don't personally mind those photos.
Yeah, and those are usually posted under the category of photograph, right? Like it has its own category, so I think that's fine. Personally, it's when it doesn't have a category and it's listed in the wrong category that it kind of annoys me a little bit. You know, for example, I've seen Sin City Frank Miller limited edition lithographs that Dark Horse used to sell uploaded to CAF, but people just mistaken it for the original art. Right, it's just a print, right? Like at the end of the day, but I've seen people upload those to CAF and like they get thousands of views because the name Frank Miller's next to it, right? Yeah. So, and that's a situation where I'm like, you know, I don't really necessarily like that, but
the other one was
I'm not going to lose sleep over it either.
Clickbait.
So. How about Comic Link? How it'll be like the marketplace and it'll be like, this is available, and then you go there, it's like sale pending, and it's like the same piece like 4 times.
Yeah.
Or like when you'll see things get listed as a classified, but it's like then it says not for sale, but it pops up as a classified. So it's like a fishing expedition. Like we'll post. I've seen a couple of galleries that post all these pieces and then have it not for sale, but it pops up as a for sale. So
is that because they change NFS to like permanent collection or something like some other sentence that the CAF system doesn't recognize it as
I don't know, but
not for sale collection piece. I think that's why.
But to me,
I think we'll have a whole session on CAF etiquette, and especially like you guys were mentioning, a lot of the for sale stuff. Don't list things as classified and just put not for sale or please inquire. If you're selling it, just put a price.
And it's not. And the gallery
the offers one is you see that a lot.
But
offers.
The one that like it's not like the gallery that everyone kind of thinks of when you say this topic, but it was like a private seller, like a collector who just had a bunch of pieces on there, and it was just they were all classifieds, but it says not for sale. To me, that's like a fishing expedition to say, hey, this might be available. You shoot your number out there. To me, if you're going to post something on CAF, put a price on it because that's where the negotiation starts, even if it's high, whatever.
Like it's I mean, maybe some people are thinking that's a way to get more views on my art, but to be honest, like, yeah, you may get more views, but you'll get less engagement because people don't really tend to engage with sales.
Yeah, I never respond to those.
Commenting and stuff.
Bye, Jeff.
So,
hey guys, I got to bounce too.
Yeah, so. I was just gonna say. On that
Jason.
Note,
all right.
Jason,
good night, everybody.
Thank you for hanging out, my friend.
You bet. Have a good week.
Appreciate it. You too, man.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya.
Enjoy it. Bye.
All right, now I can leave. Now I can leave.
Now you can leave
and
make it
the symmetry is back.
The symmetry is back.
But all right, I'll take care, guys. Good chat tonight.
All right, man. Enjoy your Super Bowl party.
Thank you.
Still having a whole party, or what's?
Well, we're actually. I have to drive over to my in-laws' house. That's my wife and the kids are over there. So I got to drive there first. And they went to see Frozen on Ice this afternoon, and now we're gonna go watch the game. So yeah.
Later,
sounds
Carl.
good, man.
Have
a fun time, Carl.
Thank you. Take care.
Later, Carl.
Right. See you, man.
Bye.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, what's with that, man? Do they not realize that the CAF website exists for art appreciation? Like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
There's certain people that covered the show and bought pieces for their collection that put it up on eBay with a price, but then in a description they say not for sale, only for appreciation purposes. It's like about the CAF website, right? That's where people.
You mean so? It was Comics Den. Comics Den got some sketches and some pieces during OAX, and then they posted them on eBay with a price, but the description says this is only for the art appreciation, not
for sale.
On
eBay? You can see and you can see how we got these pieces by following us on YouTube. So it seems like they're trying to bring traffic to their YouTube.
Yeah, they're using eBay as a marketing tool for their channel. And that
I wonder what eBay's going to think about that. eBay's not going to be too keen on that.
Yeah, if they see it, if they flag it, they're gonna cancel that for sure. But
if it's up there and it has a price, someone could hit buy it now, and they
have prices.
Obligated.
And they are then on the.
But do they have buy it now enabled or no? I haven't paid attention.
They had buy it nows and make offers enabled on all those.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
I mean, with an absurd price, so they're expecting no one to buy it.
Oh, with an absurd price. Okay, I see.
Yeah, but if anyone does,
because I know one of them. Yeah, one of them was a sketch from Amanda Connor, and Amanda had said that she had put extra effort into this piece because it was supposed to be for his birthday. So she was like, "I'll go a little bit above and beyond just because it's your birthday and you asked for a pre-con sketch," and then it's listed on eBay for a crazy amount of money, and it's like that doesn't seem right.
Weird.
Larry,
doesn't appreciate that.
What's happening, Larry? Been years, Larry. Where you been hiding, Larry?
Oh, Larry's here. We can end the show now. It's Super Bowl time.
Very soon. Comics Den are great, but they don't know anything about art. Well, he's just getting into it. They're just getting into it. You can't, fault them for that. Everybody's new at some point, right? So they're just getting into it. That's, I'm assuming, why, Angelo gets so 5-year-old childish, like with his exuberance and like, oh, awesome. And, the way he acts. But I'm hoping that that's genuine. I still haven't quite felt confident that it's not a shtick that he does because he knows people kind of like it, whatever. But
it felt genuine in person to me.
Yeah?
But,
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
Yeah,
Good.
it's nice people in person,
yeah, they're
so
nice. They're nice people, but
Yeah,
maybe
they
a
look
little
like
naive.
nice people. Yeah, and they're like I said, they're Tom. They're new to they're comic people, right? So they're new to the artwork, and they just love getting mostly commissions and occasional published pieces. But yeah, they're like really enthusiastic because they're new about it, and yeah. So a lot of people when you've never really been into the art and you've just been about buying and selling comics and reading comics, well, you're not going to know much about the art, So yeah, so there you go. That is not sick. What is not sick?
Hey, Ruben, you had one other thing in your title, FF film, and we were only at 14 minutes left. You want to chat about that at all, or do you want to skip that?
Yeah, here, let me just catch up to a few comments because I'm almost there anyways.
And I'm roll off as well, so just get the symmetry back.
All right.
Oh, you're out of here? All right, Hydra, thanks for hanging out with us, man. I appreciate it.
Take care, Hydra.
Thanks, man.
See you, bro.
Talk to you soon. And they just doing the art shows for subs. Just call it like I see it. Nah, hey, you know me, man. I'm honest. I call it like I see it. I want everybody to be honest. Tell it like it is. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I've watched them for a long time. Yeah, okay. You have the right to your opinion. You may be right, or maybe not. I don't know. Right? So, Captain, the pre-Super Bowl show today. Yeah.
There you go.
Get Larry on the panel. Stanley, anybody who comes in, you want them to be on the panel, but yet you still don't want to be on the panel. So it's easy to talk,
He just
right?
wants the show to be 27 hours.
He wants it to be, 27 and a half hours. Exactly. Larry showing up about bootlegging. I'm serious. I don't know. I was being serious, just so you know. I know it's hard to tell sometimes, whether I'm serious or not, but I was being serious. If you'd like to come on sometime, I would love it, man. So I don't know if you've ever done any of this kind of stuff before. I mean, I know you got your channel, but show and tell would love to do it. So just getting into OA flipping. That's what you think they're doing? Oh, because of the eBay thing? Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Carlito, what's happening? Good to see you. What you all talk about today, watch it on Rewind and you'll find out. That Cuber piece they got was kind of, they got a Cuber piece? I guess I haven't seen that one yet. They've been selling their own art on the house shows they do. Oh, really? So, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm the first to call somebody out if I find, they're in a hobby acting as if they're in it for this legit reason. And then I see evidence to the contrary and realize it's all about, ultimately just flipping, making money, blah, blah, blah. I'll call it out.
On the comic side, they make no qualms about the fact that they're selling comics.
Right.
Like
that I know. This is the first time that I've heard anybody mention that, then they take some of their art and sell it on their whatever at their warehouse shows, house shows.
I think that makes more sense than putting stuff on eBay for appreciation. Like that's just kind of weird,
Yeah.
Because a mistake, like if there's if that's an innocent approach, then they may be stuck with a sale that they don't want.
Right.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
It is weird.
That's it. I usually reserve judgment until I see, with my own eyes, evidence, like enough evidence to look like, oh, okay, that's really what they're about. If I eventually do, I'll call it out, but right now, so far, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that I know that they're comic dealers. Typically, when you're already a comic dealer and you start fiddling around with art, part of the reason, at the very least, tends to be for flipping reasons as well, or resale reasons, So that wouldn't surprise me. But are they selling a lot of what they buy, or just a few things here and there to help them kind of offset the cost of the things they keep for themselves? That's a thing. So I don't know. Their OAX vids have been fun. Yeah, for sure. I've enjoyed them. Fun energy makes people excited for the con. Yeah, exactly. I'm not ready to be on a show, but I appreciate the offer. Oh, I appreciate you telling me. Thank you. This way I don't have to keep asking you, But yeah, thanks, Dan. No worries. Bootlegging is a habit. The Cuber piece, they got it for free, listed for $4,000. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to chat about, and we don't have much time. It's only about 10 minutes. So I was on Facebook a few days back, and I was just going through my feed. You know, that's all I do is just look at whatever's in my feed. And I noticed a lot of people posting comments about Fantastic Four. And so then I was like, oh, is anybody talking about Fantastic Four movie or something? And then I'm like, okay. And I suddenly see somebody had posted a photo still. And I go, oh, okay. They look to be talking about somebody, one of these, what do you call it? The fan fiction people. I'm like, it looks like some fan fiction person, you know, did one of those little shorts where, you know, they're pretty good with computers and they do a little mini movie and put it on YouTube. And so then I see another post and it has a link to the video. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me just see how it looks. Because the photo, I was like, to me, it doesn't look as good as some other fan fiction, you know, superhero movies I've seen. So I go and I click and I start watching and I see that it's just like a 3-minute video, like a calling, and it's called trailer. It says trailer. I was like, oh, wow, trailer for a fanfic video? Okay. So I start watching and within seconds, I see the thing like completely, obviously digital, 100% digitally created thing. And I'm like, ooh, that's not too good. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I still like the Michael Chiklis one from 2004, whatever it was, you know.
I hate that one. I hate that one.
I like it. I don't like it, but I was like, okay, whatever. What I'm looking at now, I'm not thrilled about. Well, bye, Alberto.
His internet just died, but yeah, he sent that message. I don't know.
That's what it looks like. Okay. But then it keeps going, and suddenly other characters start coming on screen. I see. All I can tell you is it looks like I'm like, oh, okay. These actors that look like they don't really have any charisma. They don't have any. What is it? They don't have. Chemistry? They don't give good face. They don't give good face, right? Like, you know, the camera likes you, right? Certain people, you're drawn to them in movies and television. You're like, I want to follow that. I want to watch this actor. I like watching this actor on screen, right? They have a certain look, and I wasn't feeling that. I felt like these people were like, I don't know, but then I thought, well, this is a fan fiction thing, so whatever. The movie maker guy or woman got their friends to be the actor, so it makes sense, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, the invisible woman looks like she's got a dried up haired wig. I don't know, it just didn't look good. The costume looked like spandex, like from the 1990s or 80s. And whatever. The whole thing to me was just pretty awful looking. And then it comes to an end. And I'm like, well, I've seen a lot better fan fiction than that. But oh, well, whatever. You know, good for you. You gave it a try. And I thought, I was just curious in that moment to see, hey, I wonder if this is one of those channels who does a ton of fan fiction movies. So I scroll down and suddenly I notice the name of the channel is like Marvel Entertainment or something like that. I'm like, no, holy shit. I'm like, is that? No, there's no way that can be the trailer for this FF movie that they've been talking about for years that's supposed to be coming out. But apparently that's what I saw. Apparently what I just described was a trailer for an upcoming Fantastic Four Marvel movie. I'm like, there's no way that can be real. And that Hollywood studio thinks they're serious?
Marcus is telling me to send you the real one, but apparently you watched the real one. I knew you were going to take 10 minutes to get to that point.
Yeah.
I knew that's where you were going.
Yeah, I'm done. Talk. Yeah.
But since we have 5 minutes left, I think it looks great. I love the trailer. I love the trailer. I think that's the best thing that has ever looked like the thing in all compared to all the previous versions that I've seen. I like the only thing I don't necessarily love about it is that, you know, I recognize Pedro Pascal from so many other things all the time, you know, like he's in The Last of Us, he's in The Mandalorian, he's in all these big IPs.
I didn't recognize any of the actors at all.
There's a little bit of that. I gotta like get used to him being Reed Richards, but other than that, like, and I'm sure I'll get over that in 5 minutes once I actually watch the movie. But I liked the trailer quite a bit, and I don't know if that's a popular opinion or a bad opinion, but I liked it just fine.
It feels
I
like
actually haven't seen it yet. I'm
you
watching it. I'm going to watch it right now.
Yeah, you got to. It's like I feel like we saw two different things, Kavi. It's crazy. But having said that, as I kept seeing these Facebook posts, I would see an equal amount of like people saying what I was saying, and other people saying the same reaction as you. So who the hell knows how this thing's gonna look? I don't know.
Well, it certainly went gangbusters on YouTube. Like I don't know what view count it's at now, but it's had like several hundreds of millions of views. So yeah,
yeah,
we'll
7.1 million. That's subscribers.
No, like
I'm watching.
Like
it's very retro looking. Yeah, it looks like it's very retro looking. It looks like it was filmed in like I guess they're trying to make it look that way, like it was filmed in the 60s or so.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in this retro blurry. Future version of.
It's a little blurry too.
Of Earth, I guess. I'm assuming it happens in a different Earth, like within the multiverse. I'm assuming it happens in like a different, not the main, like where the main MCU Earth is. Like that's my assumption, because in the main MCU Nick Fury Earth, New York looks like New York, right? Like unless like, you know, unless a lot of things happened in that Earth during a crazy, you know, amount of time period as far as time jump, it's got to be it's a multiverse thing.
Do you believe what some of these guys are saying, claiming that there are fake trailers? Why would somebody make a fake trailer?
There's plenty of fake trailers, but but we're talking about the real trailer, obviously. So.
Yeah, and the actress, I do recognize her. She's from one of the more recent Star Trek TV shows. So
yeah, and Mission Impossible films as well. She's been in.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she was the villain in that. That's right. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Some people are thinking that I saw the wrong trailer. After I watched it, and I said I don't recognize any of these people, then I remembered one of them. I vaguely recognized him. I was like, I think it's the guy whose name is Pedro Pascal or Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, yeah.
Okay, so then I must have seen the real one. It was on YouTube. It was easily misled. Watched the real trailer last night. Finally, I'm pretty sure it must have been the real one. But yeah, because you guys, what you just described is it's like it looks like they're trying to make it look like from the 1960s. But I feel it felt like they did that because I thought it looked bad, and it felt to me like, oh, they're doing this 1960s thing so that they have a built-in alibi. That when people like me who think it looks crap start complaining, they can say, no, but it's because it's from the 1960s. We wanted to give it that look or whatever, you know? That's what it felt like to me.
When I saw the Johnny Storm portion, that looked pretty good. I saw him like going through the city and stuff. That didn't look bad.
Really? Oh, because in the preview, seeing Johnny Storm fly by, I was like, oh. But that looks like the flame looks so fake. It's so obviously digital. And that's the problem. Like the thing looks closer to his comic book counterpart. I agree. But it looked so obviously all digital. That's my issue. I was like, what? I don't get it. Like at this 2025, we can't get better than that. Like, I don't know. I think it's gonna bomb. I have a feeling it's gonna bomb.
All right, just highlight Marcus's comment. Ruben saw a fantastic 4-away from Wicked Video, and then let's wrap it up because you've got if you were serious about 6 p.m. It's you got 1 minute.
It's Ruben. 1 minute of.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I gave that so we could give us the 30-minute buffer before game time anyway. So give me a second here.
Now we got 30 seconds.
I when I saw the cast. See, a lot of people are talking in here, talking that they hated it, they didn't like it. Herbie, okay, great actor. Maple Sarah Blaza, Pascal, need a FFL watch party. No reason to use Norman Radford's shot. Oh yeah, female, whatever. What's that all about? I don't know. Female surfer, yeah. Past 6 p.m. Skip the scope. We're not skipping the Super Bowl. 3-minute warning. What's up, Matt? Vanessa Kirby. Hey, Matt, I emailed you, by the way. I'm still waiting for a reply. I don't know if you got my email or not. The Ruben saw Fantastic Four, first fan only. They can only make a fake trailer with the clips of real actors. Ruben saw Fantastic Four from. Is this the one you wanted me to highlight? from Wicked Video.
there you
I would rather have seen that after what I saw. You know? Have a good time, Carl. Have a good time. The Canadian film critic. Yeah, since there's still 70 of you here, I'm just going to remind you real quick, everybody. So don't forget Nikki B's show this Friday. Okay. And on the EXP, YouTube/the EXP. Just type in Original Art Experience if you want in YouTube. It'll take you to the channel. And that's going to be for this. Okay, we're going to be having a good time, but selling fundraising for Officer Jason Roscoe, who passed away in the line of duty a few days ago. And he was a fellow officer of Daryl Ars, who is a member of our art collecting community. All right, after Friday, don't forget to please, so next Sunday, I will be having the episode with a Stingray. All right, so that'll be fun next week. But 2 weeks from now on Saturday. So this is why I wanted to start talking about it 2 weeks in advance instead of just the usual one. 2 weeks from now on Saturday, because I'm still going to have a Sunday show. All right, on Saturday, I'm going to have my next episode of Comic Art Show and Sell. Okay. And that's episode 16. I'm going to have, this is the my first attempt. I'm going to start selling. I'm looking for new homes for some of my non-core pieces of my collection. All right, so the non Mike Perkins, non Tom Grummett stuff, as well as I will also have some consignments from some people. So please check that out. But yeah, it's same time as usual. It's the 8:00 p.m. Eastern, 5:00 Pacific, but Saturday. Okay, so Saturday will be the sales show, and then I will have the usual Sunday show the day after, and that will be the show. That'll be the show with Khalil. Okay. But yeah, I'll keep reminding you. I'll remind you again about the sale next week, and I'll post on
now Saturday is not safe from comic art buying temptation dangers. Now
has it always been? Has it always been?
No, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Okay.
I'll tune in, of course.
Okay, I appreciate it. I actually I don't need, but I actually could use somebody who wants to handle the chat for me in case while I'm talking there's people making offers or people asking questions.
I can check with you.
Let me know. If you think you want to do it or whatever, let me know. You know, no big deal. But I'm thinking of looking for somebody. So, thank you, CJ. Appreciate it. Good comics, movies mean good business for everyone. That's true. Just scared it's not going to be good. Fun show. Thank you. Enjoyed the game, Rick. Appreciate it. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate you, Marcus. Ruben saw the trailer. Gal Lactate showed up at the end. What? Okay. Good night, Corey. Appreciate you. I got the email. Have some art for that. Okay. Sounds good, Matt. Reach out to me quick, though, because I don't want to be doing this till the last minute. So hopefully sooner than later. Have a great game. Thank you, TJ. Thanks for dropping in. And Hart convinced Ruben to sell his collection. Can you please give a detail? Yes, I'm going to do that right now. Good night to you, Mr. Red Jack. Have a good time if you're going to watch the game. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Have a great time. And you too, Dan. Thank you very much.
Hey, Dan.
I will not be giving you a score prediction, but I'm rooting for the Eagles on this one. Saquon Barkley may he run roughshod all over the Kansas City Chiefs. That's
I can't consciously root for either team, so hopefully it's just entertaining. You know.
Yeah, I'll just say go Saquon.
There you go. Exactly.
Entertaining and not a blowout.
Let's let him run roughshod for 200 yards all over the Kansas City Chief defense. And with that, I will leave you with next week's thumbnail here with Stingray. There you go. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great week. Enjoy the game, those of you who are going to be watching it. And we will see you back here next week. Peace, and as always, go blue.